Hey Clayton, how you doing? Good morning, good morning. Hey Drone 658. Hey Z Drone dude, good morning. I hope everybody's having a good morning so far. Hey Brant, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good there, Brant. Yep. At least you got nice bloody weather this morning, about time. Sun is out, all is good. Okay. Hey Paul,
Morning, Roger. How are you doing?
not bad. Waking up to a sunny day today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, not so good because you can't fly, but not so good, but yes.
Hey Phantom Hodges, good morning. It's 1:53 p.m. here in the UK. Okay, Joan 658. Okay, Brent. Yep.
How's everybody doing today?
Did you go flying this morning, Paul?
No, no. Did you get my email?
Which one?
The one I sent last night? Have you checked your emails today?
Uh, hold on. Hold on. I'll check it. Uh, da dee da 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 dee dum. Well, I guess that high speed checkout yesterday only lasted yesterday. Uh, no, but I did delete some emails this morning. I probably did yours. I thought it was an old one. What was it about?
Well, I sent it to you this morning.
This
Yes.
morning, well, I seen my email this morning, but I didn't think you can send it back. Well, can you send it again?
Well, it's not important. I went on live this morning at 3 a.m.
It did.
and I sent you an invite.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I saw the invites. I thought it was for yesterday. That one. Okay.
And Val was on with me.
Holy hell.
we we were on from 3 to 5 o'clock this morning,
Oh my God.
and we had
Burnt today.
several people in with us from across the pond, Australia, and
Okay.
we're in the chat. We had a good time. We were talking about a little bit about everything.
Uh, I know I got up at 3 o'clock this morning, but I had to go to the bathroom, and that was it. I didn't go on the computer though.
Well,
Uh,
I wasn't expecting you to, but I thought you'd be figuring out what the hell is this at 3 in the morning again.
yeah, you had more problems sleeping last night.
Yes. Well, my legs were hurting really bad, and so I went and I had to get up and use the bathroom.
Okay.
So
Well, me yesterday, I had a choice yesterday. Either take penicillin or pills for the pain. So I took the pain ones,
ah,
and I slept good last night. So
did your son get you your penicillin?
yeah, I got the two of them really. I got the both of them, but I took the pain one instead of the penicillin.
Can't you take them both at the same time?
No, I rather not.
Oh, okay.
because my stomach is so bloody sensitive with all these bloody pills I'm taking.
Uh,
Hey, Neil, how you doing? Talking about meds. Did you take yours, Paul?
uh, what day is today? No, Wednesday. No.
Sure. Wednesday. Yeah. Hey, Bill, how you doing this morning? Newfound Drum Productions. Yeah, my son phoned me up at 9 o'clock last night. He says, "Can I borrow your car?"
What's going on there?
Well, his car's going really bad, and he doesn't have enough money to get it fixed yet. He's gonna bring it to the garage tomorrow. It's payday tomorrow. I'm doing good there, Bill. Yep. It's very sunny up this morning. The crows are chirping. What a bad cold. Got a lot of crows.
Gary said it's Blur's Day again today.
Yeah.
Hello, Newfound. Yeah, yeah. Val and I, we carried on with the chat, and she started to get a little bit more wide-eyed. She started out a little blurry, but
Yeah.
wide-eyed by 5 a.m. But I said, you need to get some sleep. So we plus I did too. But of course, I went and kicked back for about an hour and a half, and then started hurting again and got up. I find that what helps me, Roger, is if I get in this chair instead of having my feet up with the thing
Yeah.
resting on the back of my legs.
Okay. Yep. Bill, you keep that snow down there now. You hear? Got lots of snow last night. I know Gaspé, here in Quebec, there was a snowstorm in Gaspé.
We're supposed to get snow maybe Friday, late Friday, Saturday, somewhere in that area.
Yeah. I opened up the front door. Roxy's enjoying it, so kept the back door closed. I don't want to have a vortex of wind going through the house.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're planning going flying today, Paul?
Well, I don't know. I just was over checking checking to see what's coming and going and whatever, and I don't know. There's the one ship just went through,
Okay.
but it gets to a point where it needs to be pretty special in order to go fly anymore.
Well, thank you so much there, Brent. Yeah, everybody hit that like button. Okay, yeah, be safe today there, Brent.
Somebody walking their dog across the street. Mia doesn't
Okay.
like.
I gotta take my injections this morning. Oh, Lord. I know Phantom's Hodges doing pretty good.
Yeah, he's been keeping busy, hasn't he?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, Gary, I was in the middle of the night. But
Uh,
I was joined with by Val's life.
um,
He popped on.
Bill, Newfound Jones, I'm using those injections to lose weight. Because I gotta lose weight and then go get my operation done. Seeing I wasn't losing my weight fast enough, this is supposed to help me. But after I lose all my weight, I'm not taking that injection no more. It's just until I lose all that bloody weight I gotta lose. And it shows a lot. I'm not eating as much as I used to. I'm only eating half plates of what I used to. Instead of eating two pork chops, I only eat one. And, potatoes, I hardly eat any. Uh, Sometimes Kim cooks supper and I says, don't cook mine. I'll have a sandwich only after because I'm not hungry. It's an adjustment, that's for sure. I got to take my blood test every day now. I never took it because I know what my blood tests are, but uh, right now the sugar count's way too high. I got to take my blood test right up to Friday. She's going to call me on Friday, get my numbers, and we're going to see what we're going to do after that. Probably take me off of those pills, some more of those pills. It's too bad she's trying to make me lose weight, the doctor. When they finally find out I had one pill in there that was making me gain weight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just goes to show that doctors half the time they don't know what the hell they're doing either.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, mine was at 12 this morning too when I got up. Why is my
I better cross a couple more days off my calendar, Roger. It's kind of old school, but I do it anyway.
I don't know if my cam is working on your side there, but
Still black, but oh, there we go. Looks kind of nice out there, Roger. Are you sure you don't want to go out and fly using your phone?
yeah, we'll see how it goes there.
Looks good.
Yeah, I hope it stays that way. We're supposed to get 50 today, up to 50 today. What is it? Wait a minute. Yeah, we're supposed to get up to 54 today. Right now it's doing 47 outdoors.
Well, first thing in the morning is when there's no wind. Wind picks up as the ground heats up.
Yeah.
You should just leave that camera on, get up, go out there and fly a little bit out in the front yard so we can see you and then come back.
Check my share. And now we're supposed to get nice weather again tomorrow.
You got an SD card in the drone, don't you?
Yep.
Well, as hell, you could go out there, fly around a little bit, and
I'll fly this afternoon, Paul.
record a few things and have some fun.
Seeing that I can't go nowhere, I'll be flying today.
Yeah.
I got no car in the yard, so. Did you notice the YouTube page changed?
No. How?
Well, here I know ours changed. There, you look on top, and it's got different categories of videos you want to look at. Because I look at paranormal things and all that. They got down most watched channels. And hey, Jake Jackson RC Aviation, how you doing?
Click on YouTube now. My YouTube. Oh yeah, you're talking about it's got all recommendation drones,
Yeah,
ships,
yeah.
cameras. Yep. Yeah.
That's new. Yeah. They did that, but yeah, well, not here. Me, it was all brand new since yesterday, Blind Neil. Yeah, I was kind of surprised. Jackson RC Aviation, Rainy, and in Maryland. Oh, in Looney Tunes, Maryland. That's probably the crap we got yesterday. You're getting it. Yeah. I just clicked the subscribe button. Yeah, everybody check everybody's channels out and check out their videos. And guys, I'm sorry I'm not looking at your videos. I try to look at some, but the hours is a little short in the day here. Today's Wednesday. It's my relaxed night. I'm going to be looking at some videos. My programs I usually look on Wednesday nights.
Gonna kick back a little, huh?
Yeah. I know I got an invite from Andrew yesterday. What the hell?
Well,
Then,
you know what? I called him about
okay.
that, and he laughed. He says, "Yeah," he says, because that's the invite he gets from you.
Yeah.
And he thought, well, he would do that and send it out to all those people listed in there
Yeah.
for his channel. But that link was actually an old your channel.
Uh-huh.
But he inserted that advertisement. So it kind of threw everybody off a little bit because everybody's going like, what?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Hugh?
Morning, gentlemen.
Hugh is here.
That's what the camera says.
Good for Hugh.
Did I miss any excitement?
No. I didn't send you a link this morning because I didn't think you were up.
What time do you?
3 a.m.
Oh my! I actually had a good sleep last night. I slept till like 7:30 this morning.
Good.
Very rare for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
Val and I were on at 3 a.m. on another Paul Murray Live.
Oh my goodness. Well, feel free to send them anytime. If I'm up, I'll join. If I'm not, I'm not.
Well, because Herman and Lawrence are always grumbling about my damn phone goes off at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I have mine turned off. I have the sound turned off. So if I'm up, I'll check it. Like if I go to the bathroom or something, I check.
Yeah. I turn mine off every night.
Yeah, same here.
I got a landline here. If anybody really wants to get a hold of me, call me on my landline.
Yep. Well, actually, I don't even have a landline anymore, but I don't really care if anybody can get a hold of me in the middle of the night because I'm trying to sleep. Leave me alone. Morning, everybody in chat. How you doing, guys?
Drone shots in the morning. How you doing?
What's up, drone shots?
Miss Roxy wanted to go out and lay in the balcony in the sun.
Yeah, is it warm there?
Yeah. Well, it's 47 right now.
Oh, okay.
It's very sunny. 8 Celsius.
You're actually warmer than me. I think I'm only like 6 right now. Oh, 7. Okay, close. Catching up to you.
What are you sharing there, Paul?
I'm going to show you what Val looks like at that time of the morning. Good morning, Val.
You look sleepy.
I can't hear you yet, dear. No audio, honey. I see you good. And it said it was connecting with audio, but it didn't connect.
Do you hear me now?
I can hear you now just fine.
Okay, I'm gonna try to plug this in and see if can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing up?
Well, as I explained when I started this at about 3 o'clock, I got up to go to the little boys' room, which I do frequently during the night. And my legs and back and hips and everything hurt so bad. I says, well, I'm going to go over and see if there's anybody on. And I just fired up the computer, came on, and Tim Jackson and I have been having a really good conversation on chat.
Well, that's good.
He's at work.
Oh, hey, Tim.
He's the supervisor.
Well, sure looked pretty well awake.
Not bad
Yeah,
considering the hour.
I'm gonna fast forward to the end, and you can see, boy, she's even more awake after she's been on a while.
What, you put on makeup, primp, and have a shower and everything?
No, well, we were on for an hour later on, and she became alive. Okay, this is at an hour and 52 minutes in.
Well, it wasn't in use. It was just pretty worthless.
Yeah.
But at the time, is what I could do.
Yeah.
Dodge Charger.
Tim and Michael are joining us down the memory lane on automobiles.
Yep. Well, when I was a kid in junior high school, my boyfriend's friend had a Nova, a souped-up Nova.
Yep.
And I'll never forget, I had 2 girls that were always after me. And I was, it was terrible. But they came and picked me up, and I got in that car, and next day I went to school. Ooh, who was that with that car?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And
Yeah, Tim says we're just showing our age.
There we go.
right?
Trip down memory lane.
Yep. Yeah, we were talking about all the old cars and stuff in our history that we owned and drove and had, and kind of almost like feeling like wish I still had again,
Yeah.
And
What was your favorite automobile ever?
well, I liked my Hemi Roadrunner.
What year was that? 77 or something?
71 or 72.
Okay.
When they first came out. I could have bought the Super Chicken, the one with the big wing on the back.
Oh, that's such a good looking car.
I could have bought either one of them at the same price. I bought them brand new off the showroom floor. But I think my favorite might be the 55 T-Bird, red with the red and white interior, the coupe with the where you could lift the roof off.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites. And then I bought my first wife a 1965 Mustang GT special edition. What's that guy's name that made
Shelby?
it? Shelby Mustang. Yes, it was white with the blue stripes on the side.
Oh, I like that a lot. Yeah.
Black
favorite cars.
interior. Yep, it had the instrument cluster on each side of the dash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like your Roadrunner the best.
Yeah, I did too. That was a fun car, you know. And I like Jeeps, and I had all that kind of stuff.
You can get a restored one for about 35 grand.
Yep.
A bargain, right?
Well, you know, I look back, if I'd have hung on to, well, of course, you know, the cost of hanging on to all those cars, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, you'd have to be a rich man in order to have a building big enough to put them all in.
Oh, yeah. A lot of guys do. I mean, well, not a lot of guys, but some guys have big buildings full of cars.
Yep.
Not me, but, you know.
Roger this morning has left his car.
What's that about Roger's car? What?
Roger doesn't have his car anymore.
What happened to his car?
Not anymore. I just lent it to my son.
Oh, I gotcha.
His son is driving it.
Gotcha.
So Roger's without wheels today.
Ah.
That's okay.
I've been trying to talk him into going out and flying. Show the outdoors to Hugh, Roger.
You got snow again?
It looks like to me. And there's David. How you doing, David?
Morning, Paul. Morning, Hugh. Hello,
Yeah.
Roger.
Hey, David.
What's up, buddy?
Still not up yet, right there. Oh, there's Roxy on the
Oh.
porch.
That looks nice.
Yep. Look at her.
Oh,
She's watching.
talking about me, she says.
It's a nice day out this morning, so
Oh,
It's
beautiful.
a nice sunny day. No wind right now.
Lovely.
Roxy in her natural habitat. There you go.
She likes it out there, doesn't she, Roger?
Oh, hell yeah.
She sit out there all day?
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, she has no collar on. We can leave her outdoors, not even watch her. She won't even go off property. So, she knows where food is. That's why she doesn't go off the property.
Me too. It's the same with me. That's why I don't leave the house.
Yep.
I know where my food is, man.
Well, normally she would be sleeping just inside that door right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually in the summertime, I put her bed outdoors so I can sleep out on a gallery.
So where are you sitting? Are you sitting behind the barbecue window there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right there. All right.
Yeah. From the inside of the house, I'm facing it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a pretty nice day.
Not bad at all. Not at all. Well, I may have to try to come up for Roger Palooza this year if it still happens.
Well, so far we haven't stopped.
Well, I figure I can drive up and drive home the same day. It's only 3 hours.
Yeah.
Is that all it is? Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can drive up, hang out for the day, and just go home.
Yes, girl. Okay, I gotta go bring her in now.
Trying to find a
So-
picture of my favorite vehicle.
Yeah. So, David, how are things over in your neck of the woods?
Well, since how the sun's shining with Roger, I can tell you. Blue skies, no wind, 16 degrees.
Ah,
Yeah, it's doing only 18. It's only doing 8 Celsius right now there. But it's doing 47 outdoors.
Okay, so this is my favorite vehicle ever.
Oh, God.
You can't beat the 4-wheel drive on that.
That's
that,
right.
that elephant could go anywhere, man. I'm telling you.
When did you get that shot up on top of there?
I was back in 2005. I was working in India.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're missing a ship again there, Paul. They're coming in this
I
morning.
know they're coming and going all the time.
If you ever want to go out flying, Paul, don't stop for us there. Go on out.
Yeah, you know,
I guess your 3 o'clock rush burnt you.
yeah, we were on 3 to 5.
Now check this out. Now this is a real picture. I took this picture. I put the little capture there. So literally, they've got 2 oxen pulling a cart down a street in India, in Chennai.
Where is the drivers?
He's there beside the cows, kind of cajoling them, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's another vehicle.
Wow.
Different life, eh? Different world.
I gotta see my chat there. There we go. Hey, Geek Savannah, how you doing this morning? I asked Geek Savannah if she's very happy to be outdoors. Hey, Ron. Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, I just
That's
realized
34. Yeah, Bill got hit with a snowstorm last night up in Newfoundland.
Oh no.
I got hit with a storm of a different kind thanks to John last night.
What happened?
Well, we were on here talking about drones, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I was looking at them after I was on here, and somebody came in from work, and well, I got hit by a storm, shall we say? No, I haven't ordered one.
Oh.
Yeah. It was John not just talking about the Evo, it was talking about the Mini. So I hadn't actually researched the Mini, and if that was future proofed a little bit, that would be a cracking little drone for for me, because it's small, plenty of battery power, reasonable camera, etc., etc. It would replace the Spark Lovely. That's not what the wife said.
That's the storm. Was the wife storm?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah, I had been looking at the Evo. She would have gone daft if she looked at that.
You don't need an Evo, David. No, you don't.
Oh, I'm lost in after the camera on that bird though. That 6K camera. I absolutely don't need it, but what a lovely camera.
I want it, but I want it.
No, you might see you'd see the death of my channel. Well, no, not the channel. You'd see the death of me if I ever bought an Evo 2 without telling her.
Oh yeah. Without getting final approval?
Oh yes, yeah. I could probably get away with a Mini without final approval, but the Evo 2 would.
Yeah. I managed to buy the Mavic Air without my wife finding out because I killed the Spark, which she knew about, but I didn't tell her I replaced it with the Mavic Air. 2 years.
That would probably be the way to try it. Sort of sneak it into the redesign the Spark. The box it comes in.
See, I never showed her the box. You got to be careful. Don't show her too much, right?
No, it's
just let her know I have a drone. That's all you need to know.
This thing. I've been out flying. Oh, that's my channel stick. That box. If I could recarve the inside of that to put a drone in, which the Mini might fit.
You could put a Mavic Air in there for sure.
Yeah. Then she'd be none the wiser because she looks the other way when I get it out when we're together out in Desmond. So I've been flying and recharging the batteries, ready to go again. Somebody's going to shift me from that spot, but it's the pictures are not so good. But it's just nice to get airborne and fly around and play with it. Yeah.
I'd like to get out flying. Anything.
I found another spot, and it's gonna, well, that spot will be in part of a video later in the year, but well, the end of the month. But it's on Crown Estate land, which means I'd have to get permission. But it's a cracking field. It would be great for FPV flying, you know, just
Oh, really? So for Crown land, you have to get permission.
to fly drones. Yeah. Yeah.
See, here in Canada, Crown land is totally open. You can do basically whatever you want on it.
Well,
Great.
it's part of what they call the Fochabers estate, but
Okay.
it hasn't. I say it's on Crown land because it's part of the estate, but it actually also it still belongs to the Gordon family
Oh, gotcha. I
who own
understand.
the castle, and it's a complicated
It's a
setup.
different thing. Okay. I got you.
It's not the Crown I have to get permission off; it's the Gordons.
Gordon State. I got you.
It's just
Well-
a matter of writing a letter if I want to fly there. But it's, you know, I write the letter and they say yes, and the weather's no good for flying by the time they reply, sort of thing. It's just awkward.
Well, David, is that's basically because of the heritage of your countries where everything was owned by the crown at one time, right?
It's slightly different now. There are still Crown estates, but most of Scotland is actually owned by foreigners.
By who?
You know, the land and what have you, because it was all sold off. Since 2003, it's gradually becoming bought back because land prices are falling in Scotland, and no doubt with the economy the way it is now, it'll fall again. So it's coming back into local ownership, and the law, the Land Reform Act has really messed up foreign ownership of the land in Scotland because I don't know how much you know of it, but basically it says you can go anywhere except close to houses that are built on land now. So
As far
nobody
as
can,
drones go. Yeah. Gotcha.
yeah, nobody can come on my backyard and garden sort of thing because of the law. But I can go wandering on Crown land and private land as long as I don't do any damage. It's
Mhm.
it would be nice to think so, Sean.
Geek Savannah says Scotland will be free forever. There you go.
that Land Reform Act is a cracking piece of legislation, and it happened by accident. What they were trying to do was actually tighten up access to the land in Scotland, but it was a Labour government at the time. Was the way the Scottish Parliament set up is it'll always be a coalition government. And I know this is politics, Roger, but it's not really politics. And
Not controversial politics.
they couldn't get the other parties to agree with them about what they want to do with the land. So they changed the bill to force them to come in and vote. But only the Labour and the Green Party actually came in and voted. So they passed this change bill, which was exactly the opposite to what they wanted. What the Labour thought they'd do is get the other parties to come in and change it to be restricted access, you know, back to what they had it originally, because they were calling their bluff and say we're going to let people wander. They still didn't come in to vote for it. So the Labour Party and the Greens went, right, stuff you, and they did. So we now can literally go almost anywhere we like and camp anywhere we like. Yeah. It's absolutely fantastic, and it happened by accident.
Yeah, Paul's tired right now. He did his night show, his early morning show.
Was he not?
I saw you were on, Paul, but it was too early.
That's why
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, yesterday after I got offline, I phoned my PM office. That's our person in Parliament,
Yeah.
and talked to him. And I actually talked to him, complaining about the Bell Canada. He said, Roger, he says, we got so many complaints here about the Bell Canada. It's ridiculous. We're trying to get a hold of it, the situation. We're working on it. And we promise you we're going to give you more news in ahead. Okay. So he told me also to write a letter to the mayor of our town
Oh,
doing the complaint, which I did. I did it yesterday. I sent the letter out. So we'll see what happens after that. But they say he's got a lot of complaints about Bell Canada here.
yeah.
because they know they got a lot of money to do the wiring around here, and they didn't do Buzzall.
Yeah.
So
Well, there may be progress. Have you got an election coming up anytime soon? Because that's
I
when
got
he'll
what,
really.
elections? No.
Yeah. I was going to say that's when he'll get on his hind legs and do something when he thinks he needs a vote.
Yeah.
But that's good. At least he's
I'm
listening.
just glad that they're moving their butt to do something.
Yeah.
Good.
Geek Savannah said he did watch some of my show.
So Desmond, with those land prices cheap, it sounds like it's time for my clan McGregor to move back to Scotland. We were all thrown out.
Well, we were down. We did this trip to England in January. Well, December, January, and we were stopping on somebody's small holding, and I'd never looked at anything like this at all. And we were on their small holding. It's about 2 acres, and they have a house on it and a big shed, workshop thing, and a garage. And they have a large caravan which they rent out, and it's one of these static things. Vegetable gardens, animals, all sorts. A typical small holding. And they told us how much it cost. They're near Ipswich, which is in East Anglia.
Yeah, I worked there actually.
And they're southeast of that, right on the coast, near what is now an army base. Rendlesham, you might know Rendlesham, southeast of Ipswich.
Yeah, I know the area.
Yeah, it was. They told us how much that cost, and then the next morning, this is a little bit scary. I opened up the tablet to see what's going on, and Facebook Marketplace had come up, and it was telling me about a piece of land, twice the size of their plot, 4 acres, with a large workshop and a small workshop, a 6-bedroom house. The large workshop had 3-phase electric to it for full industrial use. The little workshop had single phase, but could be changed to 3-phase. Blah blah blah. I'm starting to sound like the real estate man now. And so 4 acres of farmland, a 4-bedroom house, and these 2 industrial units. Have a stab at the amount.
I'd say £1 million probably. No? No, what? Okay.
Much lower.
Much lower. Okay.
Much lower, yeah. 200,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. With all the buildings and everything. Wow.
It probably went for 250,000. I looked at Lindsay and said, it would be worth remortgaging and buying that if we could.
Yeah. Okay.
But they won't look at, because I'm retired, they won't look at me for that size of mortgage. But
Oh yeah.
it would have been worth it because there was enough land just by the house. You could have sold off the 4 acres,
Yeah.
and that would have, at the right time, that would have paid a big chunk of mortgage.
Well, here's a question, and I don't know, David, in your country, sometimes they'll let older people overbuy if you leverage it by a large life insurance policy.
Yes, they do that, but the cost is prohibitive, really. The other thing they do is let you free up the equity on a current house. We could raise
reverse mortgage.
Yeah, could have raised a load of money that way off this house that we own, but that you lose this house.
Yeah.
As soon as I die, after that, the house belongs then to the mortgage company, not me.
Yeah.
It's it's just not a sensible way of doing things. But it just amazed them, the prices, because they got their land cheap because it was right at the end of the runway. It was an Air Force base at the time. So they got it relatively cheap, but they still paid nearly 3 times what they would have paid for twice the land in Scotland. But that's just the way it is. I'd much rather live up here without the resources, without the
I would too. I'd rather live up in Scotland.
To go to the big city and all the rest of it, and have the beauty of the countryside around me rather than live down where they live. Even though they're out in the countryside, it's still too close to them.
Yeah, it's Blind Neil. The wires in the ground in the street are the old wires. They were put there in 1978. But the ones in the house are all brand new wires in here. So
Yeah, with renting, that's the thing, isn't it? Every now and again, they have to upgrade the wiring to the latest spec. They can't just, like, my house wiring doesn't have to be changed unless I move out. It's
Oh, do they upgrade you, Roger? Like, do you have to upgrade every 10 years or something?
my wires in the house here are all done just a year before I moved in. It makes 11 years I'm here.
That's nice.
So
I know. I should imagine it's the same in Canada, but in the UK, they're supposed to have a certificate saying the wiring's safe and have it inspected before a new tenant moves in. And if it's not, they have to get it replaced. So
Yeah.
okay.
and
I haven't rented in Canada since 1992. It's been a while. Laws have changed, I bet.
probably
Hey, Builder 710, welcome. Good morning.
I remember. I mean, we rented right up to Edmund's married quarters right until I left the Air Force.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
It was a massive shock because it's now I have to pay the bills. I just pay the rent and the well, either the Air Force or later on the housing associations had to pay for the maintenance, etc. Yeah, that's all down to me now.
I rented when we were down in Virginia. It was good. It was a really nice place to rent. You got a good deal, like out in the country in Virginia, very low prices, good. You got a good piece of land, nice home. It was pretty decent.
You know, Hugh, what we call a 2 up, 2 down. You'll know the kind of thing. A terraced house where you've got just
Yeah.
a living room and a kitchen dinette
Sure.
downstairs, and upstairs maybe it's 2 and a box, 2
Okay.
bedroom.
Yeah.
Maybe. We were paying nearly £1,000 a month
Wow.
rent on that just outside London,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
that
that's in London. Yeah.
it wasn't an expensive rental for down there. That was crazy. But again, I wasn't paying. The Air Force had posted me there. They didn't have housing or accommodation for me. So that's what it cost them to have me there.
That's expensive.
Yeah. But it's, it was, I hated the place. Everything was closing in on me.
Oh, cities. I like London for visiting, but I don't think I'd want to live there.
No. I had to go into London 2 or 3 times a month from High Wycombe, which is northwest of London.
Yeah.
And myself and the guy I went in with, we had to go in twice a month to MOD, and we absolutely hated it. We could get the train, and then it was a tube ride, but that was paid for by the Air Force. But more often than not, we'd pay for a taxi for ourselves rather than go on the tube.
Oh, the tube in the summertime?
Yeah.
It's just too bloody hot. Yeah, like I was there for 6 months working, but I was downtown, but I was in a hotel. It was really nice. So I didn't mind that. That was really great. But
Geek Savannah says London is an acquired taste.
yeah.
I love it. I love it personally.
Well, when I was back up when I was at Kinloss in Scotland, Sean, I often had to go to courses in London, and we stayed at the Union Jack Club, which is next to Waterloo Station. And we would come down in the morning, or the first time we were there, we came down in the morning and said to the guy, we need to get here. And it was the end of Tottenham Court Road, the nearer end of Tottenham Court Road, Sean. And he said, oh, you cross the road to the station, get the tube to here, tube to there, and then you can either walk from there or there's another tube. So we thought 3 tubes.
Good heavens.
Less than 2 miles. Let's walk. And after that,
Yeah.
we got in the habit. We didn't eat at the UJ Club, the Union Jack Club. We stopped halfway and had breakfast in a cafe, and it was in the 80s. It must have been late 80s, and we were paying next to nothing for a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and a bacon sandwich. And that was, and then it was. But they looked at us. You walking? Yeah.
It's faster.
Well, it was a 2 mile walk, and with going up and down the stairs to the different stations, you probably walked more than that. Getting
Oh,
the
for
tube.
God's sakes, yeah, going down into the tube takes forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love Sean. Sean, I love London, but I loved it when I was younger. As I got older, I didn't like going to the cities anymore. Even in Canada, I didn't like going to the cities, but I used to. I don't know.
Sean's still a young man.
He is a young man. He is, yeah. Well,
I've got to go back. I don't know what time you finished last night, Sean, but I got told it's bedtime just after midnight, so I'm going to have to go back and watch the rest of that stream last night. It was very interesting. I don't know if you guys saw it. Had the guy from NASA there talking.
I'm gonna have to watch the replay.
The guy from NASA there talking about the
That's pretty cool.
Mars and that. Very interesting. As I say, I was already in enough trouble by that time, so I did. Yes, I was certainly in trouble when she found out what I'd been what I was doing when she arrived home.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you got to please the wife.
Just go feed your squirrels, Paul.
Yes, I did. And I used the little boy's room. And I also got me a
Oh,
breakfast bowl.
Oh.
Hey, so how's your raccoon problem? Is it all done? Or your skunks? Are they gone?
We caught the one, and I haven't seen any since. So
Okay, so that's good.
I think so. And he said it was a big one. So maybe we got her before she had babies, or it's just it was a big male. Don't know.
Yeah. We have 2 fat raccoons that patrol the neighborhood. And
I
they
don't
look
think
in my
in,
yard.
in the case of a skunk, Hugh, that you would lift its tail to see what it is.
I would never get that personal with a skunk. I might talk with it first, have a little negotiation, but I would never touch it
Yep.
unrequested.
I could see Roger out there talking to a skunk saying, "Don't you turn your back on me." You know?
Yeah.
Dear.
Well, it's Wednesday, boys.
Yeah.
God.
Hoping for some good news this weekend.
What news?
Well, I don't know how good it'll be, but they're talking about easing the restrictions here.
Oh, yeah, here too. I hope pans out.
David, do you have varmint problems over there too?
Not really, not to the same extent. I think we've got one poisonous snake. We get rats, but most of the harmless stuff is harmful stuff is was controlled years ago.
The only cougars are found in late night bars.
Yep. They're talking about reintroducing things like wolves and mountain lions up here in Scotland.
Really? That would be cool.
Yeah.
Kind of scary hiking Ben Nevis, though, and meet a wolf. I don't know.
I think they clear out of Ben Nevis. Ben Nevis looks good from one direction, but when you take it from the other direction, there's a footpath up to the top, so it's
Yeah, I know.
it kind of spoils the effect.
Oh,
Morning, Steve. Yeah, well, good
Thanks,
afternoon.
Steve. Good morning.
good day,
Don't
Mr.
forget-
Essex.
I don't know if you heard that TripAdvisor thing where the woman wrote a review on TripAdvisor saying she was disappointed at the lack of facilities at the top of Ben Nevis. No restaurant, no toilet.
A bloody mountain, lady. I think I got about a third of the way up. That's all I could do.
I have been to the top.
Oh, yeah. Good for you.
I didn't walk up.
How'd you get up?
Helicopter.
Oh, helicopter. Okay.
I volunteered to be the body.
I was going to say, I didn't think there was a train or anything. And not that I remembered anyway.
I've never walked up it full stop. My legs just wouldn't let me these days anyway. But even when I was younger, I didn't. It was not something. Going up hills was not something I did. Standing waist deep in rivers was something I did. But
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, they winched me down, flew off, and came back and winched me back up again. Just a training exercise for trainee winch operators. It was a day off work, out in the hills, out in the fresh air.
Oh, here we go.
I'm gonna have to go make another coffee, guys. I'll be right back.
All right, buddy.
I highly recommend, if anybody missed it last night, go back and look at Geek Savannah's interview last night with Dr. Lee.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to watch it.
A fantastic show.
There's me on the way up to Ben Nevis 20 some years ago. Yeah, I was a little bit thinner and healthier back then, that's for sure. Good times.
I think I'd need wheels and a battery to get me up there today.
Same here. Oh, yeah, there's no way I'd get up there now.
Yeah, I watched the first hour of it, Sean, Paul, but then I got instructions to go to bed, so I've got to go back and watch the finish.
It is in my queue to watch today. How often do I get to watch one of my drone friends interview somebody from NASA? That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. He was a good interviewee as well. He wasn't,
Oh, no, you could tell he was enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Because my only thought was at the end, I don't think he wanted to stop. He wanted to keep going.
Hey, well, you think of it, that NASA guy got to hang out with Geek Savannah.
Yep.
Well, there's
Big
that.
deal, come on. Goddamn. That's all I'm saying.
But in my experience of this is years and years old, but NASA have always been good at that kind of thing. Always good at the publicity, if you like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Public agency, right? That's their job,
Yeah.
is to inspire the country.
when I was doing my undergraduate degree, I wrote to them because it was an aerospace degree.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'll write to them and see what information I can get out of them to do a dissertation about the moonshots. I could have done a PhD on the moonshots with the stuff they sent me.
You know, my undergraduate degree is in robotics, in electromechanical engineering. And I wanted to work on robots to go to Mars back in the 90s, but I ended up getting an offer from the telecom companies. It was such a good offer. It was so much money. I said, okay, I left my dream. Oh, well.
Yeah, Sean, but that doesn't change the fact that they're good at it. They're good at the publicity. They know who pays the bills. But I was expecting, maybe a file with a few bits of paper and pictures in, or publicity documentation or something. And I got a letter back saying there was something on its way. And about 3 weeks later, this crate just about.
Hey, Sean, if you want to pop
Great.
on here just for a few minutes and tell us about your show last night, I can send you a link.
It was about the size, when you buy a box of A4 paper,
Sure.
about 4 times the size of that,
What was in it?
of information. All sorts of information about Apollo, about
Ooh.
all sorts, about the moonshots and the build up to the moonshots. I didn't need to do anything. Everything was there. And I
You could have just written around it, yeah.
yeah, but I had to make it mine. So I read a lot of it. I didn't actually read all of it until it took me about 5 years to get through it. So I picked a small section, and that's what I did my dissertation on.
Oh, good for you.
And it was incredible. And the information, and that information is now at the RAF Cosford Museum.
Very cool.
Because once I finished with it, I thought, somebody else could make a use of this.
Yeah,
And
for
I
sure.
said, there you go.
Phantom Hodges, you take care now. You be safe.
Bye, Phantom. You got to be busy, and that's a good thing.
Take care, Phantom Hodges.
I think I'm going to open a window. Hold on.
Cosford is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, see that Vulcan bomber they've got there, Sean? Every winter while I was at Cosford, I had to sweep snow off that. I was one of the people that swept snow off that. It didn't matter how many chains you put around the nose wheel. If it snowed, the chains cracked and it sat down on its haunches, and you had to get up on there and get all the snow off, let it crash back down, and tie it back down again. But yeah, the new museum and what they've done there is incredible. That's it really is worth the trip to go and see it. Or you could go and watch my videos on it.
Well, I'll do that both.
For us ignorant people, David, what is Cosford?
It's RAF Cosford. It's used to be what they called number 2 school of training. It's now number 1 school, and they do all the training there.
There's Sean.
Hey, John.
Hey guys,
What's up?
how are we?
Not bad, not bad.
You're
We're
still
much-
great from last night.
Much better after your show last night.
You'll have to excuse my slightly dishevelled look, and my studio's still in that after show mess at the moment. So we had a complete and utter technical meltdown 60 seconds before going on air.
Oh no.
Literally, I had to switch from we use Skype to bring people in because it's a very clear and with Skype, with the software that I use, OBS, you're able to bring people in just on the feed, so it looks like it's a camera rather than looking like it's software inside software. And that decided not to work for certain reasons, and I had to switch to Zoom, but bring Zoom into OBS
Oh.
rather than OBS into Zoom at the last minute. And yeah, it was frenetic. So I was a little bit quiet in the first about 6 minutes, but fortunately Pascal's a true professional and took the show really for the first few minutes, bless him, while I was feverishly tapping away and getting things ready to work, and hoping videos could play. I mean, we literally didn't even know if people would be able to hear him because of the way I had to bring Zoom in. So, but it worked out. And thank you for everyone that popped along. I really appreciate
One of the most interesting parts, it was all the information he gave in the beginning, but when you got down to the nitty gritty at the end about SETI.
Yeah, no, indeed, absolutely. I mean, we tried not to, because obviously I've interviewed him before on the channel on a pre-recorded interview, and there's a lot of really interesting stuff in there as well. I tried not to double up too much. Obviously, you have to double up a certain amount because people won't have seen that interview and that sort of thing. So, but you know, I tried to keep it fairly fresh. But so there's a lot more of the SETI stuff in the first interview. Actually, his explanation of the Drake equation on that video that I posted in the description and in the chat is fascinating. Within 20 minutes, he manages to explain something so complex in such an easy to digest way. And then you really grasp why there probably isn't lots of Earths, and and actually what it takes to get to where we are, and how rare that probably is. Not that there isn't any out there. But...
Does he say anything about the Drake equation being more likely or less likely to produce life in the universe?
Well, he always says that and he said in the show last night that his view at SETI is less popular because of course it's SETI, that is what they're there for, is to search for extraterrestrial intelligence, and he believes that the micro life forms are probable and common. So he even believes that they'll find those on Mars once they get down into the caves and into the ice. They'll find fossils or signs of
microbial life.
Yeah, very, very early stage. The further up you go, he says, if you bear in mind to get where we are, it's like billions of years to get to the point where we are at the moment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It then becomes less and less likely. So,
but the fact that he went on to talk about the universe as a whole, and said if there is one intelligent life in every galaxy
per galaxy, yes,
that means there's 50 million possibilities of intelligent life in the entire universe.
It's always interesting though, because he always caveats everything he says, because he says obviously the Drake equation basically means about one per galaxy is what they think on the available data, and of course there's such little data you can't base it on the fact that we found one, therefore we've got data to base it on. So it's much more basic than that, but it's fascinating how it actually it breaks it all down. But he said the the caveat to that is, of course, a normal scientific margin of error could be 10. So he said once if we ever get out there, you may find there's 5 or 10 in one galaxy and then none in another, and that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
Meet the neighbors.
but he was saying even if there was one out there, it would take something like 50,000 years for the message to get to them and 50,000 years for the message to get back. So the chances of us meeting any of them, unless we have in interstellar travel somehow sorted,
Bending of warping of time and space.
Yeah.
Once if they can, because there's lots of theories on that. Once they can, then that opens up the future to do it.
Exactly. Well, one of the issues there, though, of course, which is part of the Drake equation, is that it is likely that before any civilization reaches the point of interstellar travel, they will have wiped themselves out with an accident in their own technology.
Yeah.
So we basically, we find the next nuclear power, and that goes wrong, and it just basically wipes us out.
Or we could be wiped out by, like, which is what we're experiencing now, a major pandemic,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
any other anomaly that could
That's right.
happen to any species.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As he said, the dinosaurs' big problem was the fact they didn't have a space program and didn't use their 150 million years or however long they had to get off planet, basically, before the big
Missed
one came.
opportunity.
Yeah, I thought that was quite funny how he said actually their big problem was not having a space program. You just imagine the T-Rex at the controls.
Yeah.
I can't turn the nut. Trying to press the buttons.
I thought as a whole he was a very interesting.
Yeah, he's a fascinating guy. He's so generous with his time, as David was saying. People like that in the space field, and to be fair, I always find with the military services as well, they're so forthcoming with their time, and they're so keen to talk about what they're doing and spread their message. It's absolutely fantastic. He's a very generous man, and he will be returning. We're going to return for little one-off specials to do with the little drone that's going to go to Mars this year. So there will be more space stuff on Geeks Varna.
Exciting.
Yes, you
I
never
can't
know.
wait to see how that's going to work out.
It could be our second offshoot, but yeah. It's going to be incredible to see whether it works or not. Which, of course, that is the whole. It isn't there to do any science per se. It is literally just there to test.
Well, I'm dying
Proof
to
of concept.
See, I'm dying to see Libby in a spacesuit. But
Well, you'll be happy to know that the new show, Lib's Drone Show, is in the final stages of production, and the first episode will be out this week.
all right.
Yes, it's taken a lot of work to redesign and to make it a bigger and more fun show, and also a show that she controls more. The drone news updates, we throw a script at her, she reads the script, and then that's it. And I didn't feel like we were getting the full value, if that makes sense, of her talents. So this show's going to be a lot more fun.
Neat.
Really, a lot more entertaining. Leave this serious, hello, this is the drone news, to the old guy, and then Lib can come in and have a bit more fun, basically. So
How's she doing on her flying?
She had one incident that she had a drone basically disappear off her deck and has never been seen again.
Oh no!
She's got a deck at the back of her house, and then there's like a valley going across and then across to her local city. And so she had one flyaway, but a tiny little toy drone. But she's getting there. Part of the new show actually is Lib Learns Drones. There's a section of it, and people are going to be able to send in little clips to teach her things about drones. And then we'll play the clip from the viewer while she's reacting to it and learning from it. And the idea being that as the weeks go on, she'll learn more and more about drones, which is interesting. It's going to be very interesting. There's going to be viewer video on there. There's going to be drone crashes, drone memes, even. It's going to be very different.
You guys are doing some fun things, Sean.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's good fun at the moment. It's a lot. It's a lot. And when I say a lot, I cannot say how underestimated that phrase is, but it is a lot of work. But it's once we're up there, it should maintain itself, if that makes sense. So
Yep.
but we're trying to make a very smooth
You gotta get
production
in the
flow.
groove, right?
Yeah. Exactly. The same as she was saying, that some of the first episodes, some of the shots are a little bit awkward, a little bit this. And I said, hey, it's going to take 10 shows for us to even, in 10 shows time, there'll probably be things in it we thought would be in it that aren't, and things we never thought would be in it that are. So it's just one of those formats. Yes, Blind Neil says we can't assume other civilizations are as silly as humans. I agree with you there, sir. I agree with you there.
Well, and the other thing that Dr. Lee said was that doesn't mean that if there are other intelligent beings out there in the universe, they may not be friendly towards us.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Stephen Hawking very famously said that his around general view was that we actually might be better off not making contact. Because we don't know what's going to come back, frankly. So
True. True.
Well, and the other big question I had too was if you look at Roswell incident, what did we do? We didn't try to help anybody. We dissected them.
Yeah. Or certainly, even if you said Roswell wasn't true, and it's interesting that the myth that grew out of it was that actually what we would do is say, yeah, no, you're right, Paul. Paul, you should watch the back end of the first interview with Pascal on the channel. It's about a 50-minute video, but if you watch the last 20 odd minutes, we really get into that stuff, including how different intelligent life forms would meet each other, because part of the problem is we wouldn't know that actually if something that's naturally occurring on our skin would kill them or vice versa, or their breath could kill us. And we actually got to the point where we thought that perhaps drones could even be the first, could actually be the device that discovers alien life. So if these drones go down into the caves of Mars and they recover samples that have the fossils in there, etc., then actually, our good old drone could discover alien life, which is fascinating. We delved really deeply into the SETI stuff in that first interview. It was really fascinating to get.
I'd like to see it explore other drones. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, we actually got to the point where we were saying, because obviously you don't know, you have to have that safety barrier between the two life forms. If it ever happened, it's so unlikely that it's likely that it would be AI that meets each other. So it would be robot to robot, obviously talking and telling each other not our weaknesses, but saying, hey, have you got this in your system? Have you got this?
Yeah. And Sean, I don't know if you heard or not, but Hugh, his graduate course was in robotics, and he got stolen away over.
Yes, I heard that.
Telecommunications.
Yeah.
No, I wish I had stayed in it. I wish I had. It would have been great.
Yeah, but you never know. It's always I have that myself from my youth as well. And I often think back and think, if I'd taken that path, would I have been happier? Would it have been, obviously it would have been a lot of fun and that sort of thing, but you just never know, do you, how it would have ended up. It's always fascinating looking back.
The big job opportunities 30 years ago were automotive robotics, which I had no interest in. I didn't want to work in a factory and design robots to.
No, I can understand that. Yeah.
Telecom sounded more interesting, but.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check my mail.
Okay, sir.
Oh, cables.
Whoa. Keep your fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
We might have a Mavic mini flight today.
Okay, now we're going to start the politics hour on Canadian Drone Hub. Later on, we're going to discuss the nuances of the different races on the Earth.
You mean like the human race?
Absolutely, sir.
You never know what we're going to talk about here. This is the greatest place on Earth. I love this. I love the Canadian.
How long did you go on after midnight, Sean?
I think we did an hour and a half. I didn't want to push it much beyond that. Pascal is incredibly generous and probably would have chatted to me for 3 hours. But I also feel with the live streams, it's important to keep it to a length where people will rewatch. So when they look at it, they think, they see it and it's 3 hours. They think I can't watch that, and then they move on. And also, you keep it at that length, you're leaving the audience wanting more. And it was 12:30 at night, so I was starting to flag a little bit.
Yeah.
And my lovely girlfriend was the main moderator in the other room and technical support, and she was taking everyone's questions down and feeding them through to my phone.
Oh, nice.
So that I could rattle the questions off in order and hope. We didn't. There was 2 or 3 that we missed, unfortunately, but we got most of them across, which was interesting. And it was fascinating actually, because I think it was Brant Aerials that asked about the Canadian airspace above Devon Island, where they do all of their testing for because they're based in Devon Island, which is in the high Arctic.
Yep.
And it's the largest uninhabited island in the world. But it's the reason they use it is because it's described as Mars on Earth, with the way that the topography, etc. It looks and feels like Mars on Earth. It's absolutely
In the
fantastic.
summertime.
Yeah, absolutely fascinating.
No,
So they have a summer field there basically where they do all the testing. But he was saying they do actually have to follow the drone code and everything and get clearance from the Canadian authorities.
And he has a dog that does
Yeah.
bear patrol, right?
Yeah, Apollo, his dog is in the video I played out there, showing because they actually have a Mars hub there, so they've actually built the station as if it's on Mars, so they can test everything within that environment, how it would work, how the spacesuit would work going in and out of the buildings, etc. And they have a little. It's actually a cattle dog. Is the breed, but his name's Apollo, and he's basically on station. It's Pascal's dog, but he's on station as a polar bear alert dog. So he will basically go crazy when he hears he senses a polar bear in the area, essentially hears it, and
There's Devon Island.
Yes, indeed.
Look at that, eh? Wow.
Yeah. If you look at the video last night, we've actually got some footage from it. They took some amazing drone footage, and it literally does look like the set of a Mars movie.
Yeah, and they were in a mock-up spacesuit with a drone, and they were moving it with their glove. And
That's so cool. I did not know anything about this. Wow.
Yeah, because they've basically got a smart glove which will control the drone for them. So you literally you'll move your hand up and down, left and right, and it will move the drone. And each of your fingers does a different function on the drone as well. So you're able to do that. It means that when you're on the surface, you're able to send it ahead. If you're wondering if you can get over this next hill, etc., you can send the drone ahead to scout it out for you.
Or if they're standing outside a cave, they could move it into the cave. And they're going to have a heads-up display on the inside of the visor.
Yeah, at the moment they've got glasses, smart glasses, which as you look around, the camera on the drone moves around. But he said that that's going to be a full HUD by the time it happens, because obviously they don't want anything extra in the helmet. They don't want any tech inside there. So it's, as I say, it's fascinating. I've spoken to the guy for probably 5 hours so far, and I feel like I've just scratched the surface.
Oh yeah.
Well, the interesting part is after the hour and a half or hour and 15 minutes or whatever it was, he was set on go. You were the one that was getting tired. I think he thoroughly enjoyed himself.
Oh yeah, no, he is extremely passionate about his work, yeah, I mean, I just took a production decision on that, because we'd covered. I had a run order that when I have a guest on, I always agree a run order of what we're going to discuss in what order. We try to stick to that. We're loose as well, so that if the conversation is fun and we're interacting with the audience and it goes off, great. But it means that we cover everything that the guest wanted to cover as well, which is always very important. They get their messages across. And we had run through that, and then we got onto the SETI bits and pieces like that. And yeah, it just keeps it. Normally I like to keep these things to an hour, so I did go half an hour longer than I would normally go. So it was.
That was a great show, John. You ought to be very proud of that.
Yeah, I always try and do shows at the moment that I will enjoy. I don't try and do shows that I think people will watch, if that makes sense. At the moment, especially with the lives, I'm trying to do stuff that I enjoy making. And last night, it wouldn't have mattered if it was just a chat between me and him in a pub or something. It was just.
That's the way to be successful, Sean. Do what you love. It was just
interesting.
And then everybody else will enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Oh, no mail guy. No wire again.
Oh,
no wire again, huh?
Hey, Big Matt 423. Nice to see you, sir. Yes, the DJI Matrice 300 is being announced, isn't it? There's a couple of good leaked videos and a couple of good pictures of it. It's a beast. It has downward downward props, which is interesting. The motors are on the bottom of the arms, and then the props are facing
like
down.
like
So
the front end of the Skydio.
yeah, but it's all the way around. It's going to be very interesting to see how it flies. It's and whether or not it uses the similar tech to the 360 to remove the props from the front on shots or anything.
Well,
So
and the other thing too is it kind of sets it up in my mind, Sean, for coming out with the Matrice 400 that'll have motors top and bottom on each arm
yeah,
for even heavier lifting and heavier jobs. And
yeah, no, indeed, absolutely. Yeah, Big Mac. It is crazy that the props are upside down. It's incredible. Actually, I do have some pictures which I could probably bring up if you bear with me. If you carry on chatting about something else, I will.
hey, Roger,
looking at it
speaking
Wow.
of which, I got a notification from Amazon that
Yeah.
they canceled that coffee maker I ordered you because of unavailability.
Okay,
Coffee maker.
okay, no problem. No problem at all.
Okay. Do you mind if I share the screen, Roger?
Go ahead. No
Thank you, sir.
problem.
Okay, there it is. There is the
Yeah.
what we're told is going to be the 300. And as you can see, Big Matt, it has the downward, the upside down rotors essentially. It's a beast of a machine, I have to say. Obviously, I would love one.
Well, you know what's interesting about it in my mind is if you look at those, it looks like it is just turned upside down on the arms because
Exactly.
the landing gear is there.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah,
interior,
exactly.
Those
Exactly.
are minutes. They're not landing gear, I don't think.
No, but
Yeah, because they're different on the back, aren't they, Hugh?
Yeah,
As you,
they are.
the other smaller ones at the back. Because
Wow.
when I first saw this and I saw those at the front, I did wonder if because halfway up the sticks you've got these little turners,
yeah.
and I wondered actually if you turned them around.
Well,
before-
what you do is
before you
when
flew,
you,
but
I've had
it doesn't
drones that
make
had
sense.
that, and you just spin it, unlock it, and then the arms can
Yeah.
fold down.
yeah,
But
um,
from the layout that I see, of course, you can't tell by the perspective. Looks like those arms are further out than what you could actually bend it down and have it stand on the bottom legs.
I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
I
There
wonder if
is
landing gear
a
comes
video
up.
showing it spinning up.
Yeah, because usually on the landing gear, you put it in that position, then you bend the arms down and they clear underneath,
Yes, exactly.
But it doesn't look like that's the case with those. I don't know.
No, that's right. There is a video of it spinning up, but so that then convinced me that this was certainly its flight configuration, if that makes sense. So it'd be very interesting. But I didn't choose to do all the fanfare videos and everything because obviously it's not I'm a hobbyist channel, and this is about as far away from a hobbyist drone as we're ever going to get.
Yeah,
So
that's a serious drone.
yeah, I just threw it up on my community tab for people to see, which was to be of interest. But there are some fascinating pictures out there of it. It is an absolute beast of a drone. Some very lucky filmmakers are going to be.
So drone shots, just throw something down there in the chat.
Oh, sorry, I've just actually changed my. I have to get the chat back because I went up to a 300%.
What was the previous? A Matrice 200 or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't know. I'm not 100% on the Matrice models myself, but pop that back out. Back over
That's
there.
interesting drone shots.
Very cool.
The sad part of it is you got to have some pretty sophisticated equipment to search for somebody that's missing in a river for 2 days because no longer can you use a thermal imaging camera because now they're the same temperature as the water that they're in.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It looks like the one from Battle Creek Police got from GGI. Oh, cool. They're looking for a kid that fell in the river 2 days ago. Yeah, as Paul says, it makes it more restricted.
Because I did have thermal imaging cameras at one time that I was playing with. And like I say, they're really good at what they do as long as there's a temperature differentiation.
Yeah.
But it's like if you go out and look for a human being in, let's say, in a setting where the temperature is now 100 degrees, good luck, because body temperature is 100 degrees and the person is 100 degrees.
Yeah.
You're not going to see. But if you're out looking and it's 50 degrees out and he's 100 degrees, boom, there he is. You know.
Yeah.
Indeed. I mean, did we any of us hear about the we ran a news story on it on Monday, the Latvian drone which basically ran away? I don't know if you heard about that particular story.
No, I didn't hear about it.
There's a video of it on my channel from Monday, but basically it's one of these commercial sized drones. It's about 5 meters in length. It's a big fixed wing drone.
Oh, fixed wing drone. Okay.
Yeah, twin prop. And they were testing it above Riga International Airport in Latvia, and unfortunately its control systems failed, and they lost complete contact with the drone flying at 200 meters, and it just flew away. And the issue there, of course, is that it has a 90-hour flight time.
God. Yeah.
And it basically at different stages closed the entire airspace above Latvia. And they were appealing to the public for sightings of it. They're now confident it's on the ground because it would have run out at about 7:30 p.m. local time Tuesday. And they were even before that saying, with the lack of sightings, we think it may already be on the ground. But yeah, they've a very expensive piece of equipment.
You know,
I don't
know much about programming, but wouldn't you think they would program in a fail-safe where if it loses contact for a certain period of time,
Yes,
that it shuts down and a parachute shoves up? And
absolutely.
And
in
location,
fact,
you know?
there is a very similar model to this, the Penguin, which almost looks like this is based off a license of that drone that did have a chute at the back of it, and one of my viewers who's flown the Penguin was commenting that actually there was a chute on that one. Also, you would expect if it loses signal that it would have some form of return to home basis as well, and everything else like that. But yeah, it's a fascinating story. On my video, there's one shot of someone on their mobile phone on Twitter, and it goes right over their heads. It's brilliant. It's such perfectly taken, because obviously a lot of these air sightings on mobile phones, it's such like moving footage and everything, but this was the person held it perfectly still, and you can actually hear the engines straining away as it goes over. You're thinking, where are you off to?
Wow.
I'm glad that incident happened with a commercial drone instead of a hobbyist drone.
Absolutely.
The hobbyist drone, believe me, we wouldn't hear the end of it.
Yeah.
So I made a comment, didn't I, Sean?
Yes.
Becomes more regulation for us hobbyists.
That's right. Yeah. I had one other person, which unfortunately I was so deep in the edit when he made the comment that I didn't get the humor, and I answered him seriously. But he put I hope the pilot has a 107. Like, no, they don't actually have that system in Latvia. He said, yeah, I was joking, dude. So wake up, Sean.
Well, is Latvia pretty much government controlled, or have they relaxed?
Latvia are one of the Eastern Bloc countries that are basically very open to drone technology from the point of view that they want to get that income in, and they're one of the European nations that are very up for it. They're also, I think, a lot of places are tested in countries like that. I'm not specifically saying anything about Latvia, but because the regulations aren't necessarily as tough as but you have to remember as well, though, that the commercial drone testing is up by something like 420% since the lockdown around the world, because of course they've got so much quieter skies to test these things in, so they're able to take a little bit more risk sometimes. And I think a lot of the commercial testing programs are going to leap forward during the 6-month period that would have taken 3 or 4 years of normal airspace development.
Well, it's got to be a case of less peeping eyes too.
Yeah, no, indeed.
People aren't out and about.
Absolutely, unless of course you then want them to be peeping toms because the drone has flown away. Oh man.
2 points. Well, I think the RTH on a commercial drone, especially one that's fixed wing and needs to use a bit of a runway, would probably be more likely be a shoot. Purely from-
Exactly. Fly over
Yeah,
a set coordinates and then cut and shoot. Yeah, exactly. So then they have a small search area, don't they? And of course they can plot it to an area they know that it's a. So it's fascinating that it must have been an absolute complete failure on board the drone itself, for it to just carry on flying like that.
yeah.
These UAV Future, the company who are who owned the craft, who developed it, they've got a few of these things, a few different models, and this isn't their biggest one. This isn't the most serious drone they have, and you would expect them to have a lot of backup. So I think it must have been a complete and utter failure of the software that on board the drone. Hence, it's still able to fly, so it was mechanically sound, and also the fact that it was maintaining its height as it flew away tells you that some of at least the telemetry stuff, etc.
Well, no, because if you've got something like that flying at a fixed height and fixed RPM, the safest way to come out of if you've got a problem when you're flying, take your hands off the controls.
Yes.
And the aircraft will balance itself.
Exactly.
Provided you're not in a stupid position.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed.
Unless you're flying FPV, then don't take your hands off those sticks, man.
Yeah, that's right. providing you weren't doing a loop the loop at the time. I just the thing I can't get out of my head about the whole story though is the crew that were flying it walking back across to the tower. How do we tell them that and you can imagine the conversation going further and further up, like the crew flying it to the tower to the regional air traffic control to their civil aviation agency, and then from there to the government. You can imagine all of the conversations, can't you, going up the chain, and how much more difficult those you lost a what now? How big is it?
Yeah, and somebody having to then contact the military version to let them know that we have a rogue drone in the air.
Yeah. Well, as one commenter on my video said, it would have been great target practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have popped a few jets up to hunt it down. But of course, that would have been dangerous because they wouldn't have known where it is. But
of course, so whatever speed it was flying, and I don't know what the speed is, but usually a drone like that is not flying maybe 100 miles an hour. You could have sent a high-speed chopper crew up and go spot it too, you know.
Yeah, they were doing a few different things to try and track it down, but it's I think their risk assessment, which again showed that they, I think showed a certain maturity of their program. Their thought process was to pretty much.
Well, what the other question I always have had is, it's like I stopped flying my Inspire 1, which I loved. Simply because, well, first of all, the Mavic 2 Zoom is a much better stable aircraft. But I at the end when it running, I would have rather had OcuSync in the Inspire 1. And I was thinking, if I was probably technically smarter, I could put OcuSync into that and replace it, even if I had to buy another aircraft and just move it over into that, could I do that? And
no, indeed.
I even called DJI and says, hey, I'd be willing to pay to send it in to have you guys do it. And they just kind of laughed at me,
But yes, this craft can fly at. Where is your speed? Actually, don't confirm. I think we got a confirmation direct from the company that the one in the air was about 60 kilometers an hour. But it was they obviously took the view to just let the thing fly itself out. Yeah. I suppose that you might have got a different reaction if they were if the skies were fully open at the moment and they had planes zipping everywhere. But again, at 200 meters, it's not going to mess with too much, is it either? So
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see. You're 100% right, Sean. We're going to see more and more development and it's not gonna slow down. If anything, it's gonna speed up more and more.
Absolutely. Well, we've now got in the UK, we've now got the again, sorry I keep saying it, there's a video on my channel, but there is a video on my channel, sorry Roger, which is showing the Isle of Wight, which is a little island off the south coast of England, and they're flying the medical test kits and other small amounts of supplies to the hospital on the island, because the ferries have been cut down dramatically, because obviously there aren't tourists going over to the island anymore at the moment. And yeah, I mean that was catapulted forward. That was in the early planning stages, and they were thinking of doing some tests, but that's now flying regularly. That started in the last few days.
Now those are flying autonomously, and it's not line of sight, obviously, because I know that we figured what it was 10 or 15 miles or 20.
Yeah, about 19.6 miles as the crow flies. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that drone would have to then land, and somebody'd have to take it off, take out the whatever the package was, and replace it, and then it would have to take off again.
That's right. Yeah, it has an area about the size of a station wagon back. For you to be able to store items. It's only using about 35% of the weight that it can lift. So they're keeping it well within safety parameters, but it means that they can get the COVID tests back and forwards. They can send PPE, that type of thing. So would
it be guessing? Maybe you know or don't know. I'm trying to think on the control end. Would it be? It says it's going 20 miles. And it lands, how would they know when to take it back off, and what kind of transmission would you have to go curve the earth 20 miles?
Yeah, they've got safety stations, so they've basically, it's backed up by mobile units, that type of thing. Okay. Especially because this is in the trial stages, and they have people at both of the airfields, etc. And it is actually, apparently in the initial trials, it's doing extremely well autonomously, extremely well. So they're not having to interact much with it, but they are there in case anything goes wrong. There are fail safes and ways they can actually take the.
Yeah, I would imagine there's some kind of communication going on, whether there's a camera or whatever, for somebody to unload and reload the back end of it.
Oh yes, absolutely.
It's like stop or go or something.
Yes. I'll try and bring it up on my maps, but they've also they issued a general safety warning for the area, to tell people that autonomous flight can be happening, which was one of the first times that we've had that here. Can you see the line coming down south between the two over the water?
Corridor, yep.
That's its corridor basically, which is temporary danger area established basically for.
Now, how far away is that from where you are, Sean?
That's about, depending on how you drive, anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and a quarter's drive.
Boy, what a great interview that would be if you could get access to go there and do a live.
Yeah, I do actually, or
even a recorded,
Yeah, I do actually have a press pass, so I could actually go out and about right now, but I've chosen not to because I don't think this kind of reporting is necessarily essential. Yes, David had it up there as well.
Yeah.
It was an interesting one to get through, wasn't it, David? To sort of say, oh, this temporary danger zone for autonomous flight. I was like, oh, that's exciting.
That's the beauty of the NATS app, though. We get all the NOTAMs and stuff through from
everything. It. Yeah. And then it's fascinating, isn't it, David? It's a great app. It's extraordinary because then when you zoom in, it even gives you the ground hazards.
High schools, churches, graveyards.
Yeah, churches, graveyards. It tells you where the power lines are. Everything basically. It's a fantastic little app, and
it's fantastic that they've made it to us available for free. It really is.
It's amazing.
And that's only for UK.
Yes, sir. It was made by the top level information comes in from our air traffic control people, the National Air Traffic. It's the NATS app, so it's the National Air Traffic Service app, developed with people like Altitude Angel and things.
Boy, it'd be nice if they had a global app, wouldn't it?
I'm sure that will come one day. But one of the nice things about the app is that you actually have the ability to report your flight. So what I do before I fly is I actually, and you can see there's a list of everyone's flights in my area who are flying their drones and what they're doing.
Who's
so I'm able to
flying,
actually,
where they're flying, and what time they're flying, and everything.
Exactly. So I'm able to put on there to say, hey, I'm flying in this zone here for the next hour. It's a Mavic Air and it's a hobbyist. And here's my mobile number in case, you know, EMS want to speak to me or anybody else like that.
Wow, that's cool.
And it gives them a little map. And when you actually fly, a little blue circle comes up on the map to show everybody exactly where you're flying, which I think is really clever.
Oh, I do too.
As David says, it's great to have it as a free. It isn't. I'd like to see the next advancement of like a Lance, where you could actually get, you know, go on there and actually see active permissions. But if you learn how to use this properly, it's your best friend.
Well, yeah, it's your best friend because you can just notify others without having to go through the bureaucracy.
Yeah, I don't know about you, David. I was surprised they didn't make the Nats app part of the registration scheme, as in every hobbyist must log their flight on there.
Log the flights, because that would sort all the ID stuff out and all.
It would be amazing, because then if a police officer's driving past the field and he sees a drone up, he just pulls up the Nats app, and if it's on there, he's got all their details. If not, he can go over and say, hey, what on earth are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Hugh, you know you're on mute, right?
It's okay. I didn't have anything to say anyway.
Okay, because I thought a couple of times you went to go say something, but you were on mute.
I love that app. It's one of the first apps I open when I know I'm going out somewhere where I might be a possibility of flying. So when we go away at a weekend, Nats is always running in the background on my tablet. It's
awesome.
I love it.
It's a fantastic piece of kit. I have the Nats. When I fly, I always sign in on the Nats. I check the Nats. Obviously, I check the Can You Fly app as well to see if you can actually, if all the winds and everything are okay.
Well, Nats has got a little bit of weather in it, but it's
isn't it? It's quite good, yeah.
But the weather on that could improve, I suppose. But I make that decision by looking around me.
No, indeed, exactly. And it's surprising sometimes. You'll be stood somewhere and you'll think, there's no way I can fly here. And you pull up the app and it's like, actually, yeah, go for it. Follow drone code. I'm like, okay.
But the problem with that is in Scotland, in particular, I don't know down where you are, but up here, the weather stations are so far and apart that you go onto a general forecast thing for the northwest of Scotland or the northeast of Scotland.
Yes.
And it'll be going snow, we say snow and hail, and we're sitting here in sunshine because there's the mountains. There's a barrier between us and where the weather is, and it's not coming to us. But they never report that bit.
Yes, yeah. We have the same problem as that at my club flying field. Do you know RAF Odium?
Yes, I did some training there once before I went.
Our club field is in Hook, just alongside it, and it's quite exposed, obviously, around there. Hence, they've got an RAF base there because it's the correct area to have one. So the weather can be very different to what the app is telling us. It's quite funny actually, because our field is has full planning permission to be a helicopter and model flying field. The Chinooks and the Apaches will come up from Odium. They'll fly very quickly towards us, and they literally bank round our field and carry on. It's hilarious. You can almost see them having a laugh with us, like flying straight at the field. We're coming for you. I've actually got a couple of Chinooks on my Mavic Air video a couple of times, flying straight into the field and then just banking off.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's the one helicopter I ever refused to fly in.
Really?
Yeah. I've flown in numerous other ones, but I wouldn't fly in Chinooks. If you've ever flown in one, you'll know why.
Okay.
Morning, guys.
Get shaken out. Your joints falling apart.
Hey, Andrew.
I didn't know that.
There, Andrew.
What's that?
You got a good haircut there.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Oh,
Hey, Andrew.
look at him with the summer cut.
Yeah, well, it didn't quite go all as planned, but the wife did her best. She for 1 o'clock in the morning, I give her full props on that. So yeah, but we're here. It's cut. Or
You weren't tempted. You weren't tempted to do one of the TikTok and YouTube trends of letting the kids cut your
she
hair.
wanted to, and I said it's not really good for our marriage because I'm not throwing gasket online or something. She agreed after it was I was right actually. This is what we were actually going for. I usually get my hair cut how James Hetfield because we just kind of had the same shape of head type of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not very descriptive when it comes to hair. We went for that. We came out with this. And we started with this. So there you go. There's the progression in hair. So there you go. It's kind of the walkthrough of where that all went. So
Good morning, Mr. Andrew. How you doing?
I'm good. And you. Good.
Wednesday, bud.
Wednesday. Yes.
Halfway through the week.
Mhm.
Oh, don't. Is it only Wednesday?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not fast enough.
I don't want to wish my life away, but I was really hoping it was at least Thursday.
Sorry. You a couple more hours than us, you'll get it, but nonetheless, we're not there yet. So
3/4 fast Wednesday.
that's right. Actually, David, you had sent us a message. Can you discuss here? Because I didn't quite understand what happened. Sorry.
Well, no, if Roger doesn't mind, yeah, I just went on this morning to post the links to my videos, and it says there was two messages. One was going on about my email address again, but they've got to send me a link before I can verify my email address, and that's been going on as long as I've been on Reddit. I just went on to post today's link, and I got in the messages. In fact, I'll quickly go on and read it. Then you can get the
Was
whole-
this in our Reddit you were talking about?
No, it's a Reddit on my message. On my yeah, it says you have been temporarily banned from participating in our Blue Wrench group. This ban will last for 500 days. Exactly. You won't be able to post or comment. If you have a message regarding your ban, contact the moderator team by replying to this message. So
Okay, so it's on ours then. Okay, well that's the thing. You see, it's not really ours. A young fellow had made that for us a long time ago.
Right.
Usually, a lot of Reddits are created by somebody else, not the host. But Xenia's going to look into it after. I just wanted to ask you, so I had an idea where to start. But she's going to look into it.
And it's no great problem. I don't post on there very often. It's just I remembered the last couple of weeks sort of thing, and I went on today to do one.
Well, you've been known a lot on Reddit personally for a lot of controversial views in pornography, so I'm not surprised at that. You've been one of the hard hitters on there, so I'm not surprised it's finally came back. No worries. No, Xenia's going to look into it.
So Andrew, is that a stiff review or what?
Oh, but
And we got a pun. Let's time it at 10:40. Like a morning breakfast. There we go. But no, I think Xenia will look into it, so don't worry. She'll. I don't know what to tell you, but she'll look into it.
Great hassle. I just thought, whether it was something. I guessed it'd be either automated or it wasn't really you guys. It was.
Yeah, it's young. It's actually a kid. This kid is amazing. He just goes off on his own and does all these things for us. And he created a Reddit. And then he actually got Paul Brown that hosted that, the auction show on History Channel. He owned an auction house.
Yeah.
He hounded that poor, excuse my language, poor bastard till he finally congratulated us on 7,000 subscribers. He hounded him and hounded him and hounded him. And then finally agrees and he does it and takes a nice selfie for Blue Wrench Group. And then he's like, well, come on their show, come on their show, come on their show. And he starts yelling. Your kid's like 14 years old, but he's got a heart of gold, but he's just got a bit of activity.
A little relentless.
Relentless, yeah.
A follower like that is good to have, though.
Well, yeah, these heart's in the right place, Yeah. So yeah, so that he's the one who looks after that, but we'll find out for you. And just keep it down with the touchy stuff in the future, okay? That's all.
Oh, all right, yeah.
So what was this about a hat on your stream last night, Andrew? Neil said he was really digging your hat.
Oh,
You wear hats?
well, we did an unveiling
Oh,
of the
okay.
hair.
Just curious.
Yeah, no, thank you, Neil. I appreciate that. Yeah. Neil made a couple of comments. He's a good sport about his eyesight. He made some comments about the haircut and how he could have done better with his sight.
Oh, shit.
He had us in
Finger.
stitches. He had us in stitches. So yeah, no. Oh, yeah. How are you guys today?
It's been a fun day. It's been a good stream, this one as well. We've been talking about Sean's stream off last night.
I was listening in. Sounds like a really good interview. I couldn't join for a bit, but I was listening. So good, congratulations. Sounds like it went really awesome.
Yeah, it was good fun. It was really good fun. He was a very generous chap with his time.
When you get the right person with the right kind of conversation, it just brings everything together. And when the guest is he's very social media active, so he had the SETI Institute tweet it out that he was going on in half an hour and things, and
Oh God.
so, know, apart from mounting pressure on me, especially when we had technical issues at the beginning,
So you have the
it was
guys
really
from
nice.
Centauri, Venus, Mars.
You're gonna have technical issues, bring on a guest. That guarantees something is gonna be going wrong at the last second, scrambling around. That's
Murphy's Law.
but you get through it.
Yeah, exactly. Fortunately, it only affected a couple of minutes, and yeah, we got through it.
Well, that's the main. Well, I'm glad it all went well. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, thank you.
There's my hat from last night. That was it.
Oh God. What is it, like an Australian bush hat?
It looks like a disgruntled little Bo Peep.
Yeah, that was because of the headphones. Exactly.
I was going to say you actually notice that they're sitting a little bit further apart.
Yeah, what you need
Actually,
room for that.
Their bodies are angled apart as well. So
It was a touch and go for a bit.
tension.
But it does block out the super sticker super chat song better when you have the hat on. I learned that. The burlap song, whatever you call it. I know she'll get mad when I call it burlap, but yeah, it was her mother's Sunday church hat. Just
Fantastic.
yeah, so, a little bit of driving Miss Daisy type of thing. So thank you, RC. I appreciate that. Yeah. So how are all you guys doing besides that? Everything good?
Not bad, not bad. At least the weather's smartening up.
Yeah, it's nice. Windows open. It's a little bit of a cool.
The door's wide open in here in the front.
Well, and the mailman just drove right past Rogers.
I heard, and poor Roger. I know you guys are excited for him. I think he's going to be driven to drinking. I think he's get that cable in for the love of God. I see him. He's almost got the shakes. It's like nervous to come in empty-handed. So, laugh at me.
The man's dropping off the wrong mail. I just went to pick up my stuff and somebody else's mail's in my box.
Oh,
God.
Got the same number, but the wrong street.
Okay, you mean your actual mail? I thought that was a euphemism there for a
No,
moment.
literal mail. Like,
Okay.
of course, right there.
He came home and found the wrong mail in his box.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that, Sean. Not on YouTube. Come on.
Sorry, I'm tired. I apologize.
now that's the kind of
I
stuff.
shouldn't come on live streams when I'm tired.
Now that's the kind of stuff David was saying on our Reddit. You see the problem?
Yeah. David was actually the first ever moderator on my channel, so he is a
really?
highly
That's cool.
trustworthy individual. Yes.
I don't know. Not with that beard, though. I don't know. That's a dodgy beard. He looks untrustworthy.
Oh, it's an awesome beard.
Look at that. He's
That's
got like
a
a stomach
proper-
one right there. It's like a paw.
Proper full-on British beard. That if I had the balls, I would grow mine out the same.
It looks good on this camera, but it's better on this- you should see
Your
the
beard's
screen
magnificent.
on my
Really is. I love it.
video today out in the sun down by the river, and it looks almost sheer white. It's
Oh no. Well, I'm getting there. I'm so bad that when let me pull up. Let me find something here.
I don't know why the chin hairs grow white first. Like
I know.
as you did, but my hair is brown up top, but it all goes white on the beard. I don't know why.
yeah.
I think it's our
Same as
connection.
Andrew. Like yours is fairly white.
Same thing, like a dog, all the time in the chin first. That's where we get our whiskers.
Well, yeah, the whiteness in my beard's so bad that when the animator made the little character for my channel, I didn't ask for those white streaks.
They just
He just-
appeared.
He just decided to. I was like, oh.
Yeah, but that's
honor
you
show.
don't have much though. I mean, that's just adds a little character to it. Though you're still pretty dark.
It looks like I've dribbled soup.
Also, up to
You
something.
know, dude, what did you have for lunch?
Paul, what are you doing? Paul
First
looks
time
very
I'm
mischievous right now.
on this white net.
Where's he evacuating? Where is the
I
ship?
don't know. The mic's about to drop, though, I think.
You gonna drop the mic?
Yeah, I'll be
Look at
back. The little boys' room. Plus, I'm tracking a ship. I'll be back.
Okay.
Oh, I thought
Again,
it was some
That,
shenanigans.
that could be taken the wrong way very much.
Paul did, yeah. Paul,
off the-
Paul did his 3 o'clock show this morning.
Oh, he did the prostate hour.
Oh boy.
That's a coveted time slot. Waiting to get in on that action.
It's one of those time slots that when I saw the notification come up, I was awake doing something, and actually I was watching the Westworld finale, even though it was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
No
Never mind.
spoilers.
No, indeed. Apart from it's awesome. And I actually went into it and watched it for 10 minutes on my phone because I was just checking to see if it was real. If it was a real notification, it wasn't some kind of delayed notification. No, he is on. Okay, right.
It's not a drill. This is the real thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Jones. Yeah, Coach Jones is on at 8:30 p.m. tonight, and he has special guests on tonight, Indigo Rhino. So check out his channel
cool.
tonight.
That's
We'll
cool.
be doing the 3D printing part. So
Oh,
check him
cool.
out. And you got those guys at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh yeah.
Well, I got to put my normal
And
time.
are you on tonight, Geek Savannah?
I never know. They very kindly send me a link, and it's whether I have time or not. I don't think I have tonight, unfortunately. But I've said that before, and then I've been on there the entire 2 hours. So
Oh, dear. Yeah, the brain's gone now. What was I going to say? Nah, it's gone. Let me read through the because it was inspired by the chat. Oh, I know what it was. It was Paul. I got up my normal time. I know. I put the computer on. It came up notification. Paul was on. Nah, not before my breakfast. Sorted out.
Yeah, you need your
By
strength.
the time I was sorted out, it finished.
fantastic.
Oh.
Good. Okay. Well, I'm going to head out. Thanks for allowing me in, Roger. Been great to see you.
No problem, Sean.
Great to see you, Hugh, David, Andrew.
Do well.
Take care.
The more popular Canadian Drone Hub becomes, the more people there are. It actually takes you like sometimes when you go into someone's chat, it takes you about 15 minutes to say hello to everybody.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of becoming that way on Canadian Drone Hub now, sort of exiting it, sort of.
Called the Walton goodbye.
Yeah, exactly. Have a good day, guys. See you later.
Okay, take care.
Yeah.
I tried to
I'm
catch
back.
up.
I'm
Hello,
headed
Paul.
off to work. Bye, all. Okay, bro. Next, you be safe at work, my friend.
Take care, buddy. Have a good one up there. It's
Do reggae music all day just cause. Yeah.
6:50.
Furball Kim's in the house.
Hey, Kim.
Furball.
How are you?
Good to see you, buddy.
With your increase in speed, Roger, can you both get on easier now?
Pardon?
Your internet speed, with your increase in speed, can you get on easier with the pair of you now? Online.
I don't. Oh, I'm gonna do a test. Okay.
It went up what 0.1 megabyte?
Yeah,
That's a
but
big increase.
if you're looking at the positive way, it was nearly double.
You guys just want to wind them up, don't you?
Maybe you had a successful phone call yesterday.
Yeah, Andrew, I think I told you yesterday. I sent a letter to the mayor, and
Oh, you did send. We were talking about it, but
yeah, I did send a letter to the mayor, and I called my PM, and I even talked to him directly.
good.
So, and he says he knows all about Bell. He's been having so many complaints, it's ridiculous.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So he says they're looking into it. They're trying their best to get everything going. So
Val sent me a survey today, and there was
Send
a
it to
glaring omission. The omission was, should we have introduced a price hike during a global pandemic? I didn't see that question on the survey. And the answer I would have put was, no, you shouldn't have put a price hike.
Are you serious?
Everybody, yeah, like a 5 to 10% price hike across the board.
Well, they had one March 1st, and then they said they
That's
were
the
going to
one.
not. Yeah, and then they said they're not going to have any now because the pandemic is in. That they're going to be good people now. And
Oh yeah.
They're gonna be saints.
That's not bad. Not bad. See, Kim's computer's on too, so it's not bad.
That is pretty good, actually.
They updated my my modem also.
This is
0.3 instead of 0.1, so it's not bad.
What were you getting?
But still.
Roger, you know I love you with all my heart. You know that more than anybody else in YouTube. This is the saddest celebration in history.
I know.
I feel like we've just made fire with flint sticks. I hope they do. Look, we have to get you down as an essential service. That's what we have to do. We have to make Canadian Drone Hub essential service.
RC Graces, I remember when 7 megabyte was fast internet.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't even touched that yet.
300 bits, yes. That's definitely. Those were the days.
Yeah. But that my PM is called Martin Shampoo. That's his name.
Oh, the great shampoos.
Mhm.
And when I told him that Vietnam had better internet than I did, he cracked up. He
Oh,
cracked
God.
up.
Well, I'm glad you got to make your stand on it, and that's good because the PM at least they'll be able to get some sort of headway. You know, it's not guaranteed, but at least you're getting in the right direction. So.
Yeah.
Related by
He
marriage.
says it's ridiculous how they're getting so many complaints about Bell and not furnishing people and everything, and he's working on it.
I hope more people work on it. Yeah.
It's kind of a slap in the face. You'd be better off if you didn't have it. At least you wouldn't have it versus this. I mean, this is such an insult.
Yeah, but if the town didn't have it at all, the fiber optic, I wouldn't say a freaking word.
I know, that's what I mean. Exactly. Yep.
You know?
Yep.
When you can see the pole.
Yeah.
My the area that I grew up into is a peninsula, the Gaspésie. It's a couple hundred miles around. Pretty much everybody's coastal because it was fishing communities. My town was 3 or 4 kilometers in, and then there's a town of 700 combined by 2. The Quebec government at the beginning of the 2000s wanted high speed in every town hall municipality in Quebec. They ran the wire right by my parents' house, all the way back about 3 kilometers in the middle of nowhere, hooked them up, and never offered to anybody else for 15 years. To the point they had to start all getting satellite internet just to try and compete. Then they came around with hat in hand saying, "Oh, I have this great deal for you. Would you like it?" And of course, like small municipalities don't care about practical. They'd rather make a point. And they say, "Go screw yourself. You passed by us by years. We're not taking you now." Now they finally have it because of this new law went in that they had to run it. But that whole time that was passing right beside their house, and they were sitting there on 56K connections and then on satellite paying a fortune.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's another thing here. If they come and put it up here, they're gonna have to put posts in the ground.
Well, that's the thing about coastal. See, the coastal, they ran it right along the 132 highway. Everybody pretty much had it years ago with cable. So like, oh, the Gaspé's taken care of. Well, no, anybody that just happens to be unlucky enough to live 2 kilometers off the road,
Yeah.
they've been sitting there for over a decade without it.
Yeah. Because right now my son's working and they're putting up fiber optic wiring, but they got to put new posts in the ground.
Yeah.
And as they go along, they're putting the wire up.
Yeah.
You know, they do 5 posts. They put up 3 post wiring, then they put up another 5 posts, put up another 3. That's how they're doing it.
Yeah.
And they're on a country road, no houses, nothing. They're going to another town.
Yep.
You know.
Crazy.
Yep. I mean, don't forget too. I mean, your situation is the same as my parents. I mean, we were lucky. We were way ahead of many other countries on high speed. That's one thing we did get pretty early on compared to a lot. But the problem was those gaps in all of it. And you're that gap. My parents were that gap.
Yeah.
Just got left in the dust. You know, they turned a blind eye to. So. Because you think of it, they ran it in there right past my parents. There's 700 people. That's not enough. And they all live in it's a rural area, but you know, they still live country houses apart from each other. It's not fields apart. So there was enough in that. It's a pretty concentrated area for a rural set, kind of like Leavenworth where you live, like that.
Yeah. Well, you see what got me really pissed the other time is when I saw on MSN that the government gave $350 million to Bell Canada to put wiring up in Brompton, Ontario. Excuse me, what about Quebec? You know, you were starting here and then you jump into Ontario? What the hell?
No, but that was Canada. I mean, but that part was Canada wide, and that was the mandate. It was, I forget how many, came out to almost what, $750 million or something like that, to be spread out. That in 5 years, 95% of Canada had to be connected to a high-speed connection.
Yeah.
So they were breaking up. Like I have cousins that are working up in Ontario. They've been doing as up around Paul's area, but more north from there.
Yeah.
They're going all through that area now and that. But
Mm.
there's going to be gaps in the holes, and then you got to fight to get it. You shouldn't have to, but you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Because I know right by where your house is located, where the town is, I know exactly what happened. That relay is in the center of town to save money.
Yeah.
Station was, and you're just right on the tail end of it.
Yeah, because like I said, the guy comes clean my yard here.
Mm.
He says, where I'm situated, I'm considered as the town.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm supposed to have the internet here, the high speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says he doesn't understand how come they didn't put it up to here. Anyway, I like I said, I sent letters out. Everything. I even talked to the PM, so I'm happy. I got things going from my end.
Yeah.
Again, we'll see what's gonna happen.
What you need to do is, I think the dollar store is open in your area. I want you to go. You got to get some like either beads or the string for your glasses, and you have to get letters and start a letter writing campaign like they would do that. Okay. And you have to drink tea and look across and write angry 2-page letters like that, all handwritten.
And start carrying a cane.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. As you go to the mailbox, that's right. And then they're gonna film you for CBC and make a documentary, but then you'll get your internet. I guarantee you. All sound advice.
Yeah, RC crazy. The only thing, they'll probably send me a letter back says your town's not on the map. That's what they keep on saying on when I email them. Your town is not on schedule yet.
Roger, you know what you need to do is get some of your First Nations friends to blockade the internet. They can cut
Yeah.
the wires and put up barricades. That'll work. Hey,
Well, then what he needs to do is get some of his First Nation friends to buy some cigarettes and bring them to him.
Yeah,
You could have First Nation Uber service.
I went over for a drive yesterday. I never want to buy cigarettes from there. I just wanted to get some gas. That's it. Nothing to do with seeing if cigarettes might soon be available.
are they open again?
Oh, they're the garage that have gas and stuff like that are open.
Oh, okay,
There's nothing.
not cigarettes.
But there's a locked box that says for the reserve, and I have a feeling where that's going. Not a very big box, but a box nonetheless.
Non-residents will get ticketed. If you have no business here, you're gonna get ticketed. There you go.
I got gas, so
Yeah.
no, they're still doing business. If you go in and buy some, it's just a cigarette thing. If you go in looking for cigarettes and get caught,
Yeah.
you're gonna get it. So
But Carpenter Rick, though, he had to drive, 2 hours around the reservation because they had it blocked off because he wasn't, he wasn't First Nation.
But where I went, there's a highway that goes, a highway, yeah, kind of a highway that goes across it, and that one's open. But at all times, the reserve is only really technically open to residents only, or if you have business there. And that's where they get you. So anytime you're really kind of trespassing, if they do pull you over, if they choose to see it that way. So they're just, but some of them now have a full blockade right across.
Now the next thing I gotta do is get a hold of an ombudsman.
That's that pen writing campaign, by the way. That's what's going.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
So what you do is you just make you make a very impassioned letter on your computer, and every time you find somebody you want to send it to, you just put in their name and address, send.
Yeah, no, exactly. You have that one ready to go. You're good. You're gonna be sending a lot of letters. You're gonna be busy. Stick with it.
And send one to the news in Montreal.
What did I tell you yesterday, Roger? There you go. Exactly.
Consumer complaints, right?
Yep. Because they do specials on your channels up there like they do here about.
Well, yeah, they got a French station here called Gier. I don't know if they're still around. They do investigations on things like that.
CBC and news and CTV news.
CBC would be interested in that.
CTV as well. They do that on your side stuff and that. So,
Well, that's why I read about the Bell price hike and about how people were so pissed off about it.
Yeah.
During the pandemic was a CBC article.
well, I called them about it when my bill went up because they suppose they always say they're going to lock you in for 12 months and they didn't. And I
did
called,
too, yeah.
and they actually gave it to me cheaper in the end than I had before. So they knocked another. They brought it down to $69
They didn't-
instead of 85.
Ah, can you call for me, Andrew? Because I didn't get a deal. They just told me, sorry, we told you 2 months ago that it was going up. Tough
I
shit.
go right to the loyalty department because they've had to deal with me a lot in the past. So it just seems like they know where to send me right off the bat now at this point. So they're the ones that flooded my house, and I always bring that up all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's in my file. Go check it. And then they easier than reading, and then they get somber in their voice when they see what they've done.
Yeah.
But Mr. Mitchell, oh my, there's no like that. All right, okay, Mr. Mitchell, let's just see what we can do today. Well, I've used that for the last 7 years since that's happened. I keep using it as leverage. So they've taken enough for me. I always say too, it's not that I want anything for free. I just want to pay a fair price that I was promised. So that's nice.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. The only thing is my internet is so fast here, and I'm not bragging, but it is. It's almost a gig that I can't complain. You know what I mean? Like, so 5%, okay, I was a little upset, but I've been to other places where, like Kojiko, for example, served me internet in my last place, and they were supposed to give me like 200 megs a month, and I usually got 50 or 40, which was way off. At least with the Bell 5, I'm getting close to what I'm paying for.
Right.
Every month, which is nice. So.
But you know, we have 4 people in here at 500 because I was going to go up to the gig. I mean, it's available, the gig. And even at 500, with everybody going balls to the wall straight, where we still got like 400 to boot. Like it's literally taking about 100 out at the most. So it was more of the price point that even on
Wi-Fi too, right?
What's that?
And each of you is probably connecting via Wi-Fi.
No, I'm dedicated. Xenia's dedicated. The kids go Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay, there you go. Wow, 2 people plugged in. That's impressive.
Yep. And yeah, we're not making a dent into it. Oh no, Chris is hardwired as well. Sorry, I ran it through his room. He's going through so there's 3 of us, and Audrey's going Wi-Fi.
Spoiled. Wow.
But now sometimes they, I mean, they'll still depends on the day what they feel like doing. But yeah. Sorry, I forgot because we rented it about 6 months ago. We had never did it. I'm like, well, the sockets are already there. I bet you it's live. And
might as well, yeah.
Yep. So, no, I would never do a live stream Wi-Fi. Never.
Well, think about what Roger's working with.
I don't. The only way I get through my day is I don't think about it because it's all logic. Roger's the anomaly on YouTube. They should be doing a special with that.
Roger's the unicorn. He shouldn't exist, but he does.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
The proof is right here.
Agreed. True. And over 2 years, which is beyond. I mean,
every goddamn day.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Hallmark movie.
This guy's like, what's that? The Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, exactly. The little Quebecer that could. It should be like the Hallmark movie of the week.
I'm trying to find. Okay. Just the page with the bill on it, how much I pay internet a month. And I'm trying to find it, and I just can't.
You go into my Bell and what the hell happened here? I just lost my mouse. Oh, there it is. Good.
You see, I'm paying for 10 megabytes and up to 925 gigabytes, which no way in hell I'm getting that.
What? 925?
Yeah.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong. They would never do it like that. There's something.
This is, how much do I need? I need a lot. Hundreds.
Well, when you talked to the gal on the phone and then she got a text, he looked at it and says, "Oh, your internet's fine."
Yeah, so you're getting what you're paying for.
Yeah. Well, that's the brush off onto it. So further away you are from the relay, the slower you're saying. You got about a 3 kilometer allotment for a relay. You're right at that very, very tail end, and technically you're connected to it. That's what they're saying. That's exactly what they're doing. They're jerking around like that.
Yeah.
ORC, they've changed it, they've reset it, they've done everything to it. They've manually changed his ports, everything. Yep. Oh my god, this is
The wires in the ground are no good.
you're too far away from a relay to get a strong signal. That's what they got to put in. And I'm surprised they didn't, because that road, how long does it go be in front of you? How many, like towards your
How many feet out to the box, Roger?
Yeah. Oh, it's about 400 feet.
But no, the road in front of you, you're right
Yeah.
at the beginning of it. How far does it go to the next crossroad? Like, is it a couple
Oh,
miles?
you mean like from here to the stop sign?
No. Once say you go at your road, okay, and you turn right instead of
Yeah.
the main, instead of 11 here, you turn right.
Yeah.
You start going down that road where your landlord lives.
Okay, it's about 2 miles.
2 miles. Is there many houses on that road?
Yeah.
Do they all have high speed
Yeah.
and good high speed?
Yeah, I got high speed. Yeah.
But or is it all like yours?
No.
Okay,
No. They got the fiber wiring all over.
that's really screwed.
Yeah.
So like your landlord that's further in, he's getting good internet, for instance.
No, he's not getting better internet. No, he's getting the same crap as I am.
Okay, then, and the more you continue going down that way, what about them?
About the same crap as on me. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So you see, they haven't really done you guys' line properly.
Yeah. That's why I told my MP. I says on this road here, we got a couple of houses, and after that, it's farmers, and these are big farms, and they don't have the high-speed internet here.
Yeah. See, that's what happened.
That's not right. He says that's not good.
That's
No,
what happened with my parents. It's a concentrated area. They finally did them, but then there's people that live further up, what they call like upriver above them.
Yeah.
It gets more spread. They left them go, and eventually they're supposed to go back and do it properly.
Yeah.
But it's been kind of like the same as you, left to the wind. It seems like they're jumping around doing as many concentrated areas as possible.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the next one instead of finishing it for everybody. Which is wrong. They should be doing it right while they're there. Somebody told me they have to have the most houses per capita to be able to claim the money from the government. It goes by the number of houses that are connected.
Yeah.
And that's most likely why they're doing that, hopscotching around to get as many of the houses under
Yeah. It's
one crooked. And that's TELUS, that's not Bell. And it's the exact same mess with TELUS as it is with Bell. It's unbelievable how they screw things up. My parents got a new cell phone at the same time. Part of it, they just got into having a cell phone. I bought it outright for them as a gift for them. And they still charge them for the first 4 months, like for the cell phone, that if you don't buy it outright,
yeah.
or charge them each month. Every month they had to go down and fight about that. And it's all the same. They're all the same. They're all a bunch of crooks when it's said and done.
They're bad. They're really bad.
And we have such monopolies on that here.
And it's global, right? I worked in telecom for 20 years, and they're some of the most vicious, ruthless people I ever worked with in my life.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Brutal.
Here, I got it. How much do you pay for your internet a month? Just your internet.
Now I'm paying $69.
I pay about 100, and that gives me 1 gig.
Yeah.
I pay under £30.
Wow.
Oh.
What's your data?
Mine's about 100.
There's a
Yeah, and you got fantastic internet, guys. Okay, I'm paying $82.95.
That's too much for what
I
you
know.
get. Yeah.
I know it's ridiculous for the
They
internet. I
should
got.
be paying you $27.50.
That's insane. Oh my God Almighty.
And I'm paying $49 for my television
Yeah.
and $62 for my home phone, my landline.
Oh Jesus.
It adds
That-
up. It adds up quick.
I've just looked it up. $28.99, and that's for my phone and my internet.
I was
Holy
going to say, I know Europe. I mean, in general, I know England is one of the more expensive ones in Europe, but nonetheless, it's still miles cheaper than here.
Oh
That's
my God.
Yeah.
What data do you get each month, David?
Unlimited data,
What's your speed like?
75. It's got to be above 75 or I get money off.
That's amazing.
85.
That's amazing.
when we went to Latvia the last time. We had to buy a prepay for my phone, and we got a euro discount because Xenia is a resident, and for $4.99 no, sorry, $6 Canadian. Let's just put it that way. We had unlimited calls countrywide, and I think it was 15 gigs of data at the time. That was like 2015.
Yeah.
For
Well,
$6.
After this frank discussion, we're going to have to put Roger on suicide watch.
Yeah.
Now, Roger, don't feel bad. North of 54 is paying about the same as you and gets about the same data.
Yeah.
$80 and he's getting 7 megabits up and 0.8 megabits down or down or up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, North of 54. Good morning.
Good to see you, North of 54. How are you? Oh, thank you. Oh, sorry, guys. I just here. She wants to get me coffee. Thank you, honey.
Oh my
Rub
God.
it in, Andrew. Rub it in.
Service is there.
Old guy on a bike.
And that didn't cost me anything with Bell.
Did you tell Andrew about your bill yesterday, Roger?
About my what?
About your bell bill.
Bell.
Well, I just told him there. I said that. Well, I did all morning with the.
Yeah.
No. About what they were billing you for.
The
Seven
extra bill
cents?
you got yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I'm behind my payment of 9 cents.
Oh my God, you're bankrupt.
Yeah, and they charged me 7 cents
Then
interest.
yeah, we're having a charity tonight. Rogers owes 9 cents to Bell.
Well, no, Andrew, it's plus an additional 7 cents for
Back
interest
payment
on
Well,
that.
damn right, you don't pay bills like that. You should suffer the
for
consequence.
late payment. I got a 7 cent interest.
Unbelievable. I'm so. I don't believe in anything anymore now.
Who's that from? Is that
Time
from
to pay your bills. That's it.
Like, what would it cost them to process that letter, to
Yep.
mail the letter?
Oh yeah. My parents, I was with the
Wait.
Laurentian Bank, used to be Scotia Bank here. They got bought out. They're still sending my parents a notification every month for the last 20 years that they still have 40 cents on my credit, on that credit card. Like it's still to the good of me. For 20 years, every month, I've gone there personally. I've called their head office. My parents have called their head office. They've told them personally, it's a small town. And every month, like clockwork, they send a notification about that couple of cents. For 20 years, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, you wonder if your bank dollars are going to good use? There you go.
Not likely.
No.
Their RC Crazy had a shut-off notice for a $2 gas bill. Jesus.
Unreal.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
There, Roger. Now pay your.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I can keep my phone. I can keep my phone.
And the stamp to send it.
God.
There, we bailed Roger out.
Yeah.
Prices averted. So. Yeah, exactly, old guy. Exactly. They're still making a profit. Unbelievable. Yep.
We have one of those bank accounts. We wanted rid of a checkbook. We didn't want a checkbook because we don't use it. We never used it. And they sent us one every 6 months. And after 15 years, we had a pile of them. Never used one. So they said, well, the only way we can stop sending you one is if you go onto one of these restricted bank accounts. Well, what does that mean? It's no overdraft, no checking. You just get a debit card. You can do everything else you can do with a bank account.
Yeah.
But you can't go overdrawn and there's no checking, basically. And it's free. It costs, well, it's not free because they make money off your money. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's like a savings account, like type of thing almost.
Sorry?
It's like here there's checking and savings accounts, and savings accounts tend to work like that. You don't pay anything, but you don't get checked and all that stuff with it.
Yeah. That's just basically
Back, guys.
but it works like a current account. We've got direct debits on it and all the rest of it.
Right.
But it, and they said, well, right, okay, we're not sending you out things anymore. But now they send us, and this is something we don't pay charges on. They send us a letter every 6 months instead of the checkbook, which says your charges are going up by nothing. Dear bank.
Thank you for that useless notification. What an utter waste of my time.
Unreal. And a waste of money, and a waste of your money that they're collecting interest on doing stupidity like that, you know?
Yeah. But there you go. It's I
Unreal.
said to Lindsay, we might as well have the checkbook back, and we could at least use it for scrap paper. I mean, nobody uses checks in the UK anymore. It's all done by debit or credit card or
Right.
cash.
I mean, we still use them a bit. Depends, like some landlords and stuff like that. If they're not used, over. I mean, I can't. I have a checkbook that's got so much dust on it at this point now. My parents still use checkbook more, but they've started doing stuff by phone at least, so they're getting there.
My understanding is you can now take a picture of a check and deposit it.
Certain banks, not all of them, but certain banks.
Never tried it.
It was in Canada. The first one was that one, oh my god, that ING Direct Bank. These things,
Oh, the dodgy one.
the dodgy one. They were the ones that started here in Canada. Yeah,
Okay.
like Xenia came to Canada. She had never seen a check in her life. Like they don't even exist in Eastern Europe. Like that was completely over her head.
No kidding.
Yeah, she had no idea what it was.
How do they?
Well, everything's just electronically sent. It's just, and then you don't do checks. You either
I
pay
guess cash.
cash.
They skipped that step.
Well, coming out of Soviet time, in Soviet time there's none, and then out of Soviet time things were starting to change, so they played a lot of catch up quite quickly. So, yeah, they kind of skipped some stuff.
But yeah,
You've seen a lot of changes, eh? A lot of.
Like Xenia's childhood up till 8 or 9 looks a lot like my parents' childhood. She only had color photos of herself. I think she was 9 years old.
Wow.
But then things started rushing ahead because once you open the doors, all this rush comes in of, it'd be like the same as if Cuba opened the gates tomorrow. It's going to be a huge transition, but a fast one. They're not going to take 5 generations to get caught up. They're going to get up to the technology, but they're going to have a big gap in between where they didn't work their way to that part.
Well, guy in the bike says, pay with a pig or 2 chickens.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I wonder what to do at Bell Canada if I brought those to the shop or to the office over there at Bell Canada. Here, I'm going to pay my bill.
How much you give me for this one?
No, but I'm paying like $85, like I said.
That's
And
great.
my son's only paying $42 for his internet.
That's such highway robbery.
Yeah.
And it's faster than yours?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, because over there where he lives, it's got competition. You got the cable companies and you got the Bell Tower.
Mm.
And here we got no competition. We just got Bell.
Yeah, but the same here where I mean, in the island of Montreal, all the lines are owned by Bell and all the cable is owned by Videotron. And they have a couple of sub providers, but they're not allowed to do the fiber optic yet. So they're dealing on the old lines still, the DSL, ADSL lines.
Yeah.
It's still
Right.
good, 10 and 50 and stuff. But they have no access right now to the new lines.
Yeah. So I could do business with another company, but I won't be getting any faster internet because the wires aren't good enough.
Right. You're only as good as your connection. So
That's it. That's it.
Yep. No, I agree with what he was saying. It's still got to be one of the most cutthroat, crude industries in the world. Is the
Yeah.
telecom world,
I was glad to leave it, I'll tell you that.
and a lot say that you're not the only one. I have a brother-in-law that worked for Nortel and all these companies and stuff like that, and everybody said the same thing. Once they were gone, it sucked to lose their job at the time when it went, but they were glad once it was over. They realized just how. My sister worked for IBM. Now you think IBM world leader, well protected in the. She had to work till midnight every New Year's because that's when their fiscal year end was, sitting at home on the phone, calling John Deere representatives that aren't there, trying to
Yeah.
get, take care, Paul. Good luck.
I guess he's going after a ship.
Yep. Take care, Paul.
There it is on the horizon.
They don't seem to bother about it either. We had the whole family. It was 2 tablets and 3 phones on Vodafone, and we had some problem customer service with my tablet. It was quite a high-end tablet, and it kept going back to be fixed and back to be fixed, and the same problem over and over again. And eventually, as contracts came up, we moved them. I'm on a great little contract now with a company called GiftGaff, which is O2. Maybe it's a big company, you know.
Oh, too, yeah, I know, because I had their SIM cards when I got over there.
And it works great. Hi, Mr. Crowley. My son now has 2 phones. He has a works phone and his own phone, and one's on Well, I forget. One was on O2 and one's on something else. And when Lindsay changed her phone from, we took her off Vodafone and put her on PlusNet, which is run on the EE cable, which is orange. I think you've got them. And I now have my new tablet, ex Vodafone, which runs off an O2 hub, wireless hub, rather than having it on board. And their attitude was, yeah, well, okay, doesn't matter. With, you know, that was 5 contracts they lost, all within 6 months, because of the bad service we got with my tablet.
Jeez.
And they weren't bothered, not in the least.
No.
There's just so much money to be made into it, and there's so much changing hands. And they know somebody's going to be pissed at the competition tomorrow and come back to them, and then 6 months later they're going to go to somebody else. There's no compassion at the end of the day in any of them. We're the suckers that just keep jumping around thinking we're going to get a better deal.
Yeah, well, we're with 2 different companies now, effectively, and we've had absolutely no problems since we swapped over.
Good.
Hey, yeah. Hey, Mr. Crowley, how you doing?
Did you see those cell phone towers they started burning around?
Yeah, I saw those the two 5G towers.
They weren't even 5G. They thought they were. God almighty.
People are so confused about
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Well,
See what I just posted in a link there. That's from the MSN from the Liberal government. What they're trying to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And we don't even, you know.
it'd be all right.
well,
And they fought for the 5% in it at the time. That doesn't mean you're never supposed to get it. They fought for the 5% in 5 years to cover their ass so they could jump around and all that
Yeah.
and leave
Yeah.
people trailing till the end.
Yeah, if you got a solid 50 megabytes, that's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
If I had that here, I'd be jumping for joy. Joy, 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 in my heart.
Wow. We just beat out the super sticker super chat song. So, you're saying if we give you more money, we're gonna get that song. Well, let me just take.
No.
You see what Mr. Crowley wrote? I just got a visual. Just picture that for a minute.
Just jumping jacks. Oh my god.
Just his Nikes.
Oh my god.
I got that in my head now, Sean. Thanks very much. Screw you.
Oh, I got joy, joy, joy. In my...
I didn't hear the whole verse.
And I don't know the whole verse. I can't remember it. That's how old it is.
oh dear. You see that post from old guy?
I'm trying to beat it. I got
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm still in the video unboxing this afternoon before opening it. Patience, Dan. Old guy in the drum. Old guy on the bike. Congrats.
Well done, well done.
You're a better man than me. I'd be opening that thing up. Lickety split, man.
Paper box and everyone be flying all over the place. So you on set tonight, eh?
Yeah.
Also at 7 o'clock, Andrew?
We're gonna do tonight is push. So
Okay.
Yep.
So everybody, don't forget that tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you got Phantom Flight 101, and those guys are on.
Phantom just walked in the door.
Yeah. Hey, Phantom Flight. Then you have,
Think of the devil.
yeah, that's at 7 o'clock. You got Andrew.
Hi, that's me.
Yeah, Pusha Studios. And then at 8:30 tonight, you got Coast to Coast Drones. So everybody's got a lineup for tonight's programming.
Are you back to your regular scheduling, Andrew, or are you still jumping about?
Jumping about some. It's hard with the kids at home and everything going on, and it's just, you know, everybody's feeling a pinch, even like with the membership stuff. Last night we did I don't know if you heard that we got rid of Tech Talk Tuesday.
Yeah, I knew you were talking about
Yeah.
it.
So it's
Oh.
we put it for members, and last night because we're still trying to come up with a name, so we actually had a show with the members to try and figure out a name for it. So figured to pick their brains for a while.
The show.
But we're going to turn it back more to what it used to be like. That's the goal, is to make it more like a think tank.
Hey, Herman.
Morning.
Nice
Hey,
to meet you, Herman.
What's up, sir?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Good, and you?
I'm surviving.
It's Wednesday.
Can't complain.
Liking the beard, Herman. I'm liking it.
I'm not.
Oh, man, I'm thinking it looks so cool with the beard.
No, it looks raggedy.
Yeah, right.
I don't think so.
I was just thinking, I wish mine could come out.
Soon lose my mind.
I don't know. I think you should have a vote. Tell your fans, ask your fans what they think about your beard, man.
It's terrible.
It's
too
good.
much.
We're working on it, old guy. We're coming along, and don't worry. I know it was late last night. I understand. Yeah, we got some good ideas though. We got some good ideas.
Hey, Andrew, what happened last night? You sent us a link. What was that about?
No, I just thought of it the last. I seen your email, and I'm like, you know what? They God forbid they touch Twitter, and I seen your link there, and I'm like, you know what? I'll send them a link that way. I've never tried it before, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I said I'll just try for curiosity's sake. So yeah, because we do a lot of our updates through Twitter, but like I said, none of you go on Twitter, so.
Okay. So, Herman, you been over flying today or tomorrow or today, I should say, or yesterday?
Well, yesterday I had to take care of some things. I was, when you go out, everything is aligned now.
Uh-huh.
So I was out there taking care of some things. I had to get back in here. I didn't get to fly. The wind is really crazy.
Yeah.
And when I did get to, when the wind was good, it was around 7 or 8 o'clock last night. So I was like, forget about it.
Yeah, that's when it died down.
Because I didn't get a chance to go out early. If I'd have went out early, I'd have been able to fly. But
yeah,
lately I've been up late and waking up late.
Yeah.
I'm getting more time. I'm getting more sleeping time.
Well, it is the pandemic, buddy. You got an excuse. It's okay.
Blind Neil was telling you, give it a trim. It will be all good, Phantom. So there you go.
Yeah, I guess it would be, but if I do it, it'll have like a little nick in it, and then I'd have to clean it off. And
that's what I usually, when I get to the trimming, the fine end, and then I end up, and I'm like, the hell with it, goodbye. It's a fetal attempt.
I was able to maintain it for a little while.
Kim's giving me a turkey alert. I'll see him. I'll have to check around.
So is this just in the face, or is it a whole kind of manscaping thing going on for you, Herman?
No, it's
Oh,
just
God. TMI.
I keep getting those commercials now for some reason. I think it's trying to tell me something on YouTube. I keep getting the same commercial.
Oh, you get those?
Yes. Better than the Viagra ones we were showing this fall for some reason.
Did you get one?
Viagra? No.
No, the razor.
There's one of us trimming. That's enough. I figure that's. I'm like the human chia pet. That's what I always said.
Okay. Desmond, what's good, man?
It's good. Weather's good here. Windy, getting windy now, but I'm hoping to get some flying in tomorrow and Friday.
Okay.
It's, that little spot I was talking about, I found where I could hide and fly the drone is working out well. Not so much for camera droning because it's not particularly good, landscape, but it gets me out flying. That's the important thing.
Wow, north of 54. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah.
I don't want you to give it your exact location, but like relatively, like how high are you? Is there like a town in the area or something? I know you live in northern Manitoba, but I wasn't sure how far up. That's crazy though. Now, they've had even their first case in Nunavut a couple of days ago, which they had none up until now. Well, I think the higher areas were kind of accepted while they're higher up. There'll not be many cases or none. Oh, Flin Flon. Oh, okay. Now I know where you are. I live 30 minutes from Flin Flon. Yeah, you're pretty north. I was gonna say I lived in Yorkton, Saskatchewan for a bit, but that's no comparison to how higher up.
AJDS.
I've got to Google a place called Flin Flon. I tell you, it's
Oh, it's a great name, isn't it?
Yeah, city of Flin Flon. Yeah. Well, there's a German band that calls themselves Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, because they love the name of the town.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's a band. I don't know if they're still around. That was a long time ago, but yeah.
We used to call it Saskabush when I lived there. Where are you going? Oh, heading down to Saskabush.
Saskatoon's it's an interesting place.
Open it from my roadblock that they are talking of closing it. Oh, wow. Oh. Well, here being in Quebec here, we're being more relaxed on the lockdown. So
IJDS.
now they're letting the elderly out to walk around.
Well, even my parents' area where they live in Quebec, the same province as me, I can't go there. There's still a blockade on all traffic going that way. And look, I think there's 8 regions in this province that are closed off. A guy I grew up with, he was about 4 years older than me, was moving home. He didn't plan to, it just worked out that way. And he got there the first day of the blockade, so they said you can't get through. He was loaded with everything he owns, 50 years old. So he has a friend a lot further up. He had to drive back, I think, 2 hours or so. He stayed with him and ended up dying of a heart attack on the guy's couch.
Oh,
And the guy got a truck full of everything the guy's ever owned in his life loaded up, and a kid that he was bringing home for somebody else. Hey, JDS, how are you?
Wow, how do you work that out?
yeah.
Exactly.
Here we go. Daily briefing.
Yeah, JDS. Yeah, we know. Yeah, he was up. He got online at 3 o'clock this morning. And Val was with him too. Val got on right up to 5 a.m. also.
You know what, Roger? I got up around 4 and I saw that thing going on and I was like, what the hell? How long did I sleep?
Uh-huh.
Roger's on already? No, that's Paul.
It's his show. We call it the prostate hour. That's
I
what
see the Twinkie with the overalls on.
Paul went on last night and Val went on with him. They got off at 5 o'clock this morning.
Oh, Val was on with him.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm telling you, there's only Paul and 3 Fortnite channels on at that time. It's only
When I get on at that time, I get hit by the freaking trolls.
Well, that's what I mean. Exactly. Until they find out the ball's on. And that minion is like a perfect target to draw in trolls. And that's
Yeah.
so asking for a decimation of a channel. God help them. The kids will be there by the swarms.
That's why I don't go on anymore at nighttime like I used to, because I could get hit too many by trolls.
Remember the guy I showed you that was on our show that we were drinking and he fell down? And
Yeah.
I went into his stream one night about 3:30 in the morning and he was wrecked. And he got hit by German trolls and they'd even managed to get their way up onto his panel.
Oh, no.
So I just walk into this half asleep and he's just like, I don't know what's happening. And I don't know what they want to do. And there's the other guy's yelling at the top of his lungs in German. And it's just nothing but cursing going in the chat. They had 216 bots running through it.
Shit.
It was like a house party that was ready to explode.
My God.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's some of them are nice. The other guy's screaming in German.
That's bad.
Oh, YouTube.
Yeah.
We're gonna run into one here. YouTube is like every bad alley of every city in the world coming together under one roof. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it really, really is.
So Herman, you got any yes.
Same way I call it.
Yeah. Interesting news for tonight on your show.
Well, it depends on how much you call interesting. I mean,
There's Herman the salesman once again. Well,
No, I mean, once again, drones are in education, and
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone caught it yesterday, but the FAA had a Zoom meeting amongst themselves that they put on YouTube.
Oh God, how'd that go?
It's very interesting because they see. That's why I said when you got to listen to the FAA's all of their little symposiums and meetings and stuff like that. They take a little bit out of the bag and give it to you at a time.
Okay.
Right now they're trying to expand UAS operations and services from the college level. So what they're doing now is remember I mentioned that what's her name there? Miss Chow was the secretary of one of these organizations, aviation or something like that. She gave out this big grant at one time to colleges for them and their programs who were leading the way in that industry that offered a degree program. Now what they're doing is they're trying to push this in more schools and looking for more schools to open this up.
Okay.
So is that they can offer 4 and 2 year degree and certificate programs in UAS operations. So it's pretty interesting. I mean, if you're looking to go to college and you're interested in drones right now,
it is interesting. Sell it, my man. Sell it. Paul comes in here and he talks about a brownie like it's the end of the world coming. Oh, the Castorius and all. Yeah. Well, you like them.
But yeah, that's one of the topics. Scotio's getting into the whole PPE stuff too. So
What?
yeah, I can't understand how you can't you can't get the drone to market, but you got drones to give away.
Weird.
One note, Herman, on your settings for Zoom, I think you have it set to automatic voice adjust like Paul had his.
Mm-hmm.
If you go under your audio settings, there's a check mark underneath the slider for it that says.
Now, where do I find this?
You go to. Do you have your Zoom open right now? Is it in your browser or did you download the app?
What do you mean? I have the right now. Yeah. What do you? Sir?
Let me see if I can share the window with you. I don't know if we'll let it share itself. No. Okay. Shit. Do you have one like it's a panel for Zoom, like it's its own rectangle, like it's not a web browser? Is it an actual program you've downloaded from YouTube? From the internet, excuse me.
Well, I just paid for Zoom and download whatever I had to download.
Yeah. Okay. So then let me just close everything. I'll just do a desktop share. Desktop. Do you have this window that I'm moving around here?
Oh, nice bridge.
Thank you. That's Toronto. You have this window here that says like Zoom, return to meeting, join, schedule, etc.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then just click here. There's settings. There's a cogwheel close to the top right. Are you with me or?
I'm looking.
Okay, no, I wanted to make sure. I didn't want to jump ahead if you weren't. Yeah, there should be there's a cogwheel. It says settings. You see when I put my mouse over it, the word pops up settings. Like look from the X, go down, click on settings, and then you would go to audio. And right here, there's a like you see microphone. You bring your volume up and then you uncheck the automatically adjust volume because that's checked right now like that you want it off. Because what it's doing is it's adjusting as you're moving back and forth from the mic, and that's why you get those sharp pitches by times and stuff will be from that. So
okay.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. There we go. Roger, are you still planning on Roger Palooza?
Yeah. I'm gonna see what's going on there first there, but I'm sure we're still not changing anything right away. So
Roger falls under essential services, so he gets a pass on that one. He campaigned for that, so
yeah, it's because probably the border's probably still closed in July.
Hmm.
But for the guys from Canada, we'll see if they come down.
Have they said anything yet about when the Canadian borders might be opening? Because
Not
know-
yet.
Mike from Chilling with Melon was saying they were hoping to get across in June, and I said, well, all I can say is our borders appear to be open, but there's nowhere for you to stay. The hotels are all closed for now. And then yesterday, no, it's Wednesday. It was today. He announced that they postponed it till next year because they weren't going to be able to get across when they wanted to in June. So I just assumed he'd heard something from somewhere.
no, nothing yet. There's been it's going to be
Yeah,
a while,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and I know they're going to probably open it up to business. Well, you know, it'll be like kind of business. It's going to be a lot slower into it. They're going to control most likely.
I'm wondering how many businesses will realize how much cheaper it is to do it online now and stick with that.
Mm.
For a lot of stuff, you know, something that doesn't need to be face to face, you know, and signing and documents, that kind of thing, and what have you. How many people are going to stick with?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's almost like that's a rough thing because I understand a lot of people might get used to working from home, and some people might even like it. But I'm old school. I don't think I should have to use my light and my internet.
No, I'm
for
not
the
necessarily.
company that I work for.
Are you going to start off with a Johnny Lunch Pail story? And all you're allowed to have is bread and milk to take home, and you're with that only. Like that's all the people eat today.
No, but I'm just saying that that's just one aspect of the whole thing. You know, some of these companies right now.
Yeah. I don't mean the working from home thing though. I mean the business traveling to different countries to meet up when they've been doing it. Now they've been doing it from home, but yet from the office, from the you know, bring it up on your computer, talk to the guy there, and then sort it out. Down you go. Instead of a 6-hour flight, 5 hours, you know, that kind of thing.
Exactly. I agree. But what Herman is talking more about is he wants to put on a flat hat and whistle while he walks with his lunch kit swinging like that to work. And sit down and have his bread and milk.
So when my brother was very sick, he used to work for the Case Populaire in problem solving and all that for the computers.
Is he in?
And they made him work from home, and they paid everything.
Yeah.
They paid his internet. They paid upgrading his computer even at home and everything, and to do all the work from home.
Yeah, when I worked from home for the last two and a half years of my working life. Yeah. And no, enough's enough. I'm not working from home, and during office hours, my desk phone, we were voice over internet phones, but my desk phone was sent to my home phone.
Yeah.
I worked through a VPN. They paid didn't pay all my electric, but they paid internet. They bought the computer.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go even a step further, and more companies are going to love it so much they're going to turn even more people into contractors and hire people on that side, and then they'll be able to they'll sell it as a plus. Oh, you'll be able to claim everything from home.
Yeah.
You know, you'll pay less taxes, therefore not having them on the bill, which is easier to drop them whenever not needed and stuff.
The oil companies have done that for years in this country.
Exactly, and here too, exactly. And I think it's just going to become more and more popular. But.
I mean, it was no difference. The only difference it made to me was chatting to the other guys in the office.
Of course.
And the social interaction that came with that. But we spent a lot of time talking to each other on the phone. And you know, the guy who sat opposite me during the winter would be talking about rugby. During the summer, cricket. And we still did the same thing, just Well, we used something called Team Meeting back then, not
Mhm.
Zoom, and yeah.
Let my sister worked for IBM, like I was saying a while ago, 16 years, and the last I think 4 was at home. And the same thing, they paid for all her internet, paid for her phone, so much for utilities.
Yeah.
And she didn't, like she said, she missed that part. But in the end, then when IBM let her go to the cutback, she had to go work at the hospital here in Montreal, the super hospital. She found it such a hard adjustment to get used to being around people again. You know, she becomes so in that routine. She had her friends, like you said, they talked all the time, but never face to face. And
Mhm. But the best part of that was Fridays. No 2-hour drive home on Friday at 5 o'clock. Weekend started as soon as I finished work. No messing about. No drive home.
exactly, that there is pluses to it. I mean, congestion and I mean, look at what's happened to cities around the world since things slowed down for a little bit. Look how things have rejuvenated already. It just shows you the kind of impact we've had onto it. So,
Yeah.
you know. Blind Neil says, somehow was your description of somebody walking and whistling got zippity doo stuck in my head. That's kind of where I was around. Actually, yeah, you're right in that area. So,
Well, guys, I'm going to sneak out. I just got a notification from Canadian Tire that my order is ready to pick up. So
nice.
Oh, cool.
got to go get some
You got a
stuff
drone?
for our yard. Yeah, seeds and potting mix and all kinds of stuff.
Well, enjoy that. Have
All
fun.
right, guys. Well, I will see you all later.
Yeah,
Okay.
you-
Take care, you. Yes, girl.
He said
It's been
Canadian
fucking for the
Tire.
past 2 days.
yeah, Canadian Tire's a big chain here. It was actually in the States for a while too. It's a big chain here in Canada, and they it's kind of like a glorified take Walmart and take away the clothing and add like garages into it. And that I'm trying to think of the best way. It's like a general store, everything from mechanics to home appliances, like not big appliances, but like frying pans, cookers. It has something of everything into it.
Coffee makers or
Coffee
whatever.
makers. It's one of those like you know, if you want paint, if you want this and that.
Mhm.
So that's why I think of it a lot. It's kind of like Walmart, take away the clothing out of it, and you pretty much got an idea where it is. So
Yeah.
Okay.
But like Tim Hortons, it's there's not a small town that doesn't have like, or not a small town, but a medium sized town or bigger that doesn't have at least one Canadian Tire into it. But it's they're actually really good stores, I gotta say. And they
I thought it was a tire place.
well, yeah, that's the whole misconception. You can imagine their marketing as they got bigger and having to say we're not just tires. Well, you pick the damn name, so you can figure it out
I
and
thought
tell
it was a tire like muffler spot.
but they do mechanics into it as well. And that I mean, a lot of oil changes, brakes, stuff like that. You know, they're
You
not.
got hunting equipment, fishing equipment. Yeah, there you go. Guy in the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something of everything into it.
It's not quite the same, but we have something called Halfords. I know Canadian Tire from having been over there, but we have some Halfords, and they started off car spares,
Right.
you know, but then they added bikes and they added camping equipment. Then they added, you know, and they just things added and added and added.
Yeah. Something of everything. It's like the the mentality of the old general store type of thing on a bigger scale.
Bicycles, everything. So they sell everything.
Gotcha.
It's as Canadiana as Canadiana can get. When Tim Hortons was owned by Canada, if you went in there drinking a cup of Tim Hortons coffee, you pretty much got it all in one shot right there. It's not a good picture, but like that's an example of it. So it's everything you see, like bikes or like Lego. Then you go into different sections. They have lighting, automotive.
No, I got what you mean.
Yeah, they tried them in the States for a couple of years and were doing quite well. I forget what happened. I actually seen a documentary on it, like a web documentary on it.
They probably had some of the Walmart people come in and decided we're having none of that. Let's get out of it.
About the size of it. It was something to do with that, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And they were a good fit for northern states like that, you know, for Idaho, Utah, all those places and all them. Idaho and Nebraska, excuse me, and all them. I live for the sale price. They do. That's one thing about Canadian Tire. When it's a sale, 75, 80% off. Like most of my tools, I saved probably $6,000. I think I figured out in the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot. You just wait and never. Like socket sets say they were going like professional and their version of there's Mastercraft and then what's the one with the lifetime warranty for theirs? Anyways, those were $400. They would go for $80 or $70.
Mhm.
Like Target coming into Canada. They didn't last too long. Believe me.
2 years and 2 years Target lasted and they were gone. The marketing was horrible for it, and it just went off on the wrong foot. It just shows you, even the biggest of companies, if you don't have a marketing plan together.
Yeah.
Target.
Yeah.
Yeah, it lasted 2 years in Canada a couple of years ago, and it was gone.
They closed them all down.
Yep.
Like Loblaws, they closed almost all of them down.
Yep.
I don't really see the fascination a lot of people have with Target. I mean, they have there's certain things, but
There's the Zellers, they're all closed down.
Oh my God, Zellers did such a fantastic tweet. They still have their Twitter account when this COVID thing first started. They
Okay.
were scrambling with toilet paper, and they put out a tweet that said, if Zellers was still around, we would have toilet paper.
Oh, Paul's already back.
yeah, that toilet paper thing was ridiculous.
So it just shows you what a Facebook Drive does today. That's exactly what caused all of that was Facebook. And a couple of messages, a couple of posts.
Talking about stupid people. Yeah. Listen to this one. My son's mother-in-law, she's taking care of a little boy, and she's getting that money from our government to keep care of the child.
Yeah.
Okay, she moved and she changed her address, but for some reason, the people send out checks didn't change her address, so the check was sent to her old place instead of doing a direct deposit. So the woman at the other place, she takes the check, signs it, takes a picture of it, deposits it in her own bank account.
Mm-hmm.
So then my son's mother-in-law says, the company that she does business with and all for the kid, she phoned him up. How come I didn't get the check? She says, yeah, you got it. It's been changed and everything. What? Yeah, the CIBC Bank. She says, I don't even have a bank account in CIBC Bank. And I never got the check. So the woman that's living at her place changed the check.
Mm-hmm.
So my son went to her place yesterday and asked her for the money back. She says, well, come here 11 o'clock tomorrow. She says, oh, my mother did it. My mother did it. Yeah, like hell. Her mother's about 80 years old. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're supposed to get the money today, but it's not finished there because that's a government check.
Yeah.
And the government knows now she did fraud. So they're going to go after her.
Why this day and age? I don't know
Yeah.
how people still do stuff like that. Like how you figure you're ever going to get away with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Not a
she
paper trail,
deposits it in her
digital-
bank account.
That means they have her on camera. You know, she took a picture of it and did it.
Yeah,
But still,
yeah.
nonetheless, they're tracing it back to her phone. I mean,
And it's in her account. So she got caught there. So that's how stupid people are today. They don't think, oh, well, they'll never find out. Yeah, right.
I gotta say, I'm a bit surprised with this because I know what you think of the daughter-in-law. So I thought this was more geared at the. Holy God! Look at that! Look at that! There you
You
go.
going to the club tonight, Paul?
No, the rent got paid.
Oh,
And he not only paid the rent for this month's, he paid $500 towards next month's rent.
oh my God.
Oh, this is a change of pace.
Well, what happened is of course, he and his wife both are getting unemployment now.
Right.
And unemployment, since this has been going on, is more than what they were making when they were working.
Oh my God.
So he wants to get ahead.
Well,
I
hats
said-
off to him.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hats off to him. That's pretty admirable. So
Yep. And he's going to pay me the other month's rent. I think he wants to pay me another $500 in another week or two.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That is really good.
You had enough problems. You had enough problems with them.
Yeah, well, I
smartens
think
up.
I think it in the long run paid off.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad things are going on a better.
So were the guys able to change the thermostat upstairs?
They're coming Thursday. They canceled
Okay.
on Monday because of the coronavirus. Now they have to get permission from the state to come and service my location.
Oh my God.
Hmm.
Okay.
Unreal.
Okay.
I'm very happy. At least it's he's getting along now.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, you gave the guy a second chance, so it's paying off.
Yep.
Paul, this is not the same guy from before, is it?
Yeah. The guy I
A
evicted
long
twice.
time ago? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh no, I think the one you're thinking of too is the one that he got rid of, and then this one came in and he had problems with it. This has been
yeah, I know about the second guy with the problems. This is the second guy.
Yeah. This is
Okay.
the most recent guy. Yeah.
Okay.
But I evicted him twice,
Okay.
but he kept coming up with the money, and I can't not turn because my lawyer says you want to convert it over to month, not a 1 year lease, because then you're locked in and they can pay you anytime.
Okay.
So now we're at a month stage.
I got you.
Cool.
Hey, John.
What the hell?
What? I feel like I'm getting an upskirt shot of John.
Yeah.
He's got a car rolled over.
I can hear him now. There he is.
There he is.
Hey, John.
John DiNardo. Yeah, he's at the auction.
John?
He called me on the phone when I was driving back.
Can you read me, John? Can you open the sunroof, John?
I think he has.
That's quite a view from out the
Like I
sunroof.
said, either his phone fell or he rolled over.
Yeah. You okay there, John? There he is.
Now I'm okay.
Oh.
It takes a minute for this thing to connect to my audio system in the car. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now I can hear you too. I've been trying to make it in all morning to say hi to everybody, but was busy with online auctions, and now I bought one, so I got to run down to the auction with a check. And I
Okay.
figured since you guys are on, I'd say hi and stop in if the internet connection was good enough. I had talked to Paul on the phone, but he was getting ready to come back.
Okay.
How's it going today?
Oh, it's going.
So, John, we coming through the speaker system in your car?
Yeah. Now
So
you
you mean
are.
you're one of those people at the light that I look over and like, who the hell are all those people in the car?
Right, yeah.
And the one person's always just yelling, and I'm like, damn, either he or she cannot hear.
It's much better to get it over the audio of the car than the
I
little
agree.
speakers on the iPhone. Holy crap.
Greatest thing
But-
ever.
Oh yeah,
Greatest thing
yeah.
ever invented. I agree.
I got to figure out some way to mount the phone inside this car so it's not just sitting in the dash like it is now. Although today it doesn't look bad. You can see me through the steering wheel and everything.
They have tons
That's,
of those all
that
over.
stand that I got with the wireless charging was the best investment ever because it's got the
Oh, yeah,
telescopic
yeah.
arm onto it and plus it's wireless charging at the same time. Worth every penny. Every penny.
So, two of the cars I have out there come equipped with that already, where there's a spot in the car you set your phone down on,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and you press the button, it turns it on. The Toyota pickup trucks are all coming like that.
Yep.
And the higher end Chevys are like that, and from 17 forward. Pretty cool.
Well, Ford has a deal with them, don't they? For Ford, like in the new Escapes and that last year when I was looking.
Yeah. It depends on the model you buy, but yeah, they all.
Mm.
There we go. There's the volume. So when you're using the Bluetooth here, you can do the phone volume and the car volume. So one of them has to be turned all the way up.
Hmm.
This is an an older car. Well, older. It's a 16 with what Chrysler stuff is called Uconnect.
Hmm.
So pretty interesting. The newer stuff though, the GM has it down pat where you can actually whatever's on your screen, it screen shares it to the big screen that's in the dashboard.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That is
So when somebody calls, it just tells you who's calling?
It'll tell you who's calling. It'll tell you the text that if they send you a text, it reads you the text.
Out loud in the car?
Yep, out loud
Yeah,
in
I
the car.
can't have that.
My Murano does that. Reads out my text for me.
Yeah, you have to tell it to read it. It doesn't just read it. It'll
Oh,
say,
okay. Good, because
it'll say,
I love the little earpiece thing when nobody hears anything but me.
right. You can do that through this too. It's not an issue. You can make it so it's private, so it doesn't go over that at all. It goes to your earpiece or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, it comes across the screen and says, Paul Murray texted you. Would you like to listen? And then you hit the listen button, and it'll read his text to you to the best of its knowledge.
The sad part I don't like about it is the reply, because if you're on the road, yes, it's handy. That's like set options, but every one of them ends, I'm sending this from my Nissan Murano. It's like, this is such a jackass thing to go and say, yeah, sorry, can't talk driving. Sent from my Nissan Murano. Like, I can't use that.
You can actually change that too if you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can, like on mine, I set it up so I hit the button on the steering wheel, and it brings up Siri because I have an iPhone, and then you tell it what you want to text back to the person, and then it says, this is what you're going to text. Would you like to send it now? It's kind of a drawn out process. The newer ones are easier. The newer they get, the easier all the creature comforts like that are getting.
That's why I just use the OK Google and just do it voice. The phone is right there anyways, just to skip all the.
Oh yeah. And that's how GM's getting set up. So now if you buy a high-end car, you can either get the navigation built into the car, or you just use the screenplay from the Waze app or Google Maps or whatever mapping system you have on your phone, and it puts the map up on the screen.
Right.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Herman uses the jawbone, but I want him to get the one with the mic, and he really looks like a box truck driver. I want him to have that into it. But they scream into that thing all day, right at their mouth, I don't think I'm gonna make it by 5, like that kind of thing.
That's funny. I don't know if I'm gonna lose you guys or not. I should. I'm in Springfield, Massachusetts, right where they put the brand new casino in that's closed. But
Say hi to Homer for me, please.
Homer Simpson. That's amazing how many cities, states have Springfield in.
Everybody's got a Springfield.
They finally released it. What was it? It was the one where he grew up, wasn't it? In Washington or Oregon? That was the one that they finally.
I think it was Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah. I think I'm not 100%.
No, that sounds right. That's what I think so too.
Yep. So that's pretty cool.
Oh my God, you use Bixby? Neil, there's like you and 4 other people right now that are celebrating. Oh my God, that Bixby had good intentions, but man.
Good to see you. I just got done getting paid, so.
Well, it's
I just
not
wanted
that
to say,
great, but I don't argue with it.
Just a minute.
I just wanted to say hi to everyone in the chat before I forgot because I can't see the chat. I can't see the chat, and I definitely can't respond. I don't have a co-pilot today, so.
Okay. Hey, Centroid, how you doing? Long time no see. Glad to see you. Yep, we're doing good there, Centroid.
Good to see you, bud.
He's got to do his classes there pretty soon, so. Hope you're doing well.
I hear you, Blind. I just tend to go more through just Google itself most of the time. I just wish they would refine it more. I think it's a good idea. It's just, I know that they're competing against Siri, but to try and have their own version for their phone alone. But
actually, Google Voice seems to work better than Siri does. as far as understanding my voice, that's for sure.
That's what a lot of people tend to say in the end. But I don't have any real experience with iPhone, so I wouldn't be a good.
Oh my God, yeah, Google understands way more. It seems like a lot better for at least for English. I don't know how all the other languages are, but English, Google beats it hands down.
Really, that much?
Yeah, it really. Yep. Yep. It's amazing the mistakes that Siri makes compared to Google. Because I use both. I've been trying both. Siri's built in the phone, but I have Google on here, and I use Google. And especially on the computer, if I use Google on the computer,
It depends on the device.
voice, yeah, it depends on the device, I bet. Yeah. I didn't know if that's true or not or what, but I know Google seems to, when I voice search for anything in Google on my phone versus using Siri and Safari, it gets everything wrong as far as what I said. You know,
The last phone I had was really good with it, but this phone sucks.
Which phone do you got, Herman?
What is this?
Centroid
Or whatever.
Centroid just said that the government of New York has closed all the schools down for the remainder of this year. Hopefully we'll be all back to normal by September.
Yeah, I know about that. I'm just.
We're not sending our kids back. We made a decision. We're not doing it.
No, and it's on a voluntary basis here if you want to bring your kids back to school or not.
The daycare. It's going to be a poorly run daycare. It's for they're just trying to get some parents back to work and have a.
Yeah, it's like a babysitting center or something.
They're not going to be graded on anything, and the end of the year classes have all been canceled, so there's absolutely no point or benefit to being there.
Yeah, that's it.
only to infect other people, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Get everybody together again.
Yeah. Like,
So they're gonna have
if it was better set up, and it's not because of the teacher's fault, it's what they've been given as guidelines makes no sense. I would send my daughter a bit just because she's younger and it'd be good for her to have the interaction. Actually, they're getting together on Zoom at 1 o'clock, all her and her classmates, the teacher to her teacher personally called all the students every week, each one individually when this first started I thought that was so amazing of them.
Really?
Yep.
That is.
Yep.
Very good.
About 10 minutes with each one on the phone and that, and I hats off to somebody going like Centroid did. I love when teachers go the extra mile like that because they don't have to. There's no.
Well, that's what it is. You know that teacher cares about the kids.
Yep.
Cares about his job and what the kids are doing,
and her teacher he has white hair, so she called him Daddy Number 2 because we look alike. We went to the first period teacher meeting. She said, "Oh, look, it's Daddy Number 2." Oh, yeah, we don't want to be saying that. Yeah. But the teacher thought
I can help you with that gray hair. Haven't you seen my photo on that box?
Yeah, that's right. I need some of your tips. And quickly, it's spreading like wildfire. I'm going to shave my head; it would hide the gray. Now it just brings it out even more. So I'm gonna. The Kenny Rogers.
JDS says the brothels are all still open here, so I wrote down that's a good way to catch another virus. There you go.
Just use hand sanitizer.
Did you see that the representative for the national sex working trade was trying to get money out of the government to help them during the crisis because they weren't as busy? That's true. I'm not making that up. That actually did happen.
Okay.
They went aboard them trying to get money for them. They're trying to help them out during the hard times.
Huh.
Yep. Essential services.
Well, that's when they made their most money.
Yeah, probably.
During hard times.
Yeah, exactly.
People are flying on the highway. Where I am, the state police and everything have been told not to pull anyone. There goes Carvana. Guy, boy, they're killing him. The state police have been told not to pull anybody over unless they're doing something astronomical. So I normally in this run that I just had to slow down to 70. I'm in the middle lane and people are passing me like nothing. I was doing 80 and they were passing me like I was standing still. And there's usually police everywhere on this route right here. And there's every time I've come down here, no police present whatsoever.
Wow.
They're
I don't know how it is in Canada.
pretty much. I mean, you see the odd one mostly running somewhere, and the rest of them are downtown trying to keep social distance type of things going
Yeah.
more than anything.
Yeah.
Or,
If they can get
and here
far
on the
enough
highway,
away
they're-
from the donor.
yeah, on here on the highway on the outer route, they're parked in the middle of the highway doing radar or sleeping in their cars.
Yeah. Normally, where the radar sites are set up, there's nothing. No police presence. It's amazing.
You
Wow.
remember a couple of years back, Andrew, when that guy took a picture of the two cops sleeping in the car on the outer route?
Yeah,
Man, that ever hit the news. That ever hit the news. Oh yeah.
he should have got the Governor General's award for that. Best thing ever caught on camera.
And he walked right up to the car, took the picture.
Did they catch him?
Holy crap.
No,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he got the photo. He put it out. He got it up all over the newspapers and the news everywhere.
Yeah.
All cuddled up together. Beautiful.
Oh,
Okay, everybody in the chat, I'm gonna close this down, so I'll let you go for now. And y'all be safe out there. We'll see you tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on those guys on Phantom Flight 101's channel. And then at 7 o'clock, we got Andrew on Pusha Studios. And then we got maybe Nomad Unbroken. You're gonna go live tonight
Yeah, he usually goes on before six,
Yeah.
right, Nomad?
at 6. And then you got Coast to Coast Jones at 8:30 p.m. tonight. So everybody's check out all the live streams tonight, guys. Be safe.
Okay. Oh my
Bye,
bye,
everybody.
everybody. Bye, everyone.